gain, nigga that like not gain weight, the nigga that lost weight, but lifted weights and some shit doing with some weight.
So he big as hell, man.
Man, they said nigga got muscles and shit, man, so he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's nice, hello. GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's nice, hello. GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? What's going on with y'all, man? Appreciate everybody being in the building. Shout out to everybody up in here, man. Y'all know how the game go. Please like and share all those good things. We will go ahead and get into this thing, man. So first off, let me start by saying rest in peace to Keisha Cole's mother, Frankie. But with that being said, it's an ugly job and somebody has to do it. Okay. Shout out to Ramil Amir and Mr. Palmer with F Child Support. And those two brothers covered, the latest viral thing of the father pretty much having a conversation with his 10-year-old daughter. And, her, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and show it to you. We'll go ahead and show it to you. Okay. This is from Mr. Palmer's page. So let's go ahead and do this. For all you guys that are not familiar with it, here we go. Hello. Good day. How you doing today? All right, now I was over on Ramil's panel yesterday, and shout out to Mr. Let Go. I mean, wonderful thing about this space is, as men, we all are entitled to our own opinions, and we can agree to disagree, respectfully. And he came up yesterday on Mill's panel, stating all these things and reasons where, his philosophy or his parents' style or whatever you want to call it, he believes that a child has the rights to rebuff or refuse their parents' wishes. Okay. There's just a couple problems with that. From a legal standpoint, kids really don't have rights; they have protections. There's a reason why, if and whenever something happens to a child, the parent has to be the one to, even if it was something criminal, has to file those charges against someone. The child doesn't have that right because, again, until you're recognized an adult and an independent person under the law. Again, you have protections and not rights. And furthermore, people more so my age, of the good old ass whoopings age. Okay, I'm not talking about beating. I'm not talking about abuse. I remember, man. I remember this. Shout out to Eastside, Macon, Georgia. All right, I remember this, bro. Paddling was a thing in the 80s and early 90s. And, if you got a line or whatnot, what have you, pretty much, I don't even think your parents had to sign a consent form or anything. It was just standard operating procedures. If you acted up, hey, to the degree of where the principal or the teachers or administrators, whoever thought it was necessary for you to receive corporal punishment, that's what happened. And then more likely than not, if you got a paddling at school, you got that ass whooped again once you got home, okay? Because they have to let your pretty much let you know. But I think you probably had an opt-out clause, but you didn't have to actually, you didn't have to sign anything to get permission. And shout out to Mickey, man. Actually, it was this guy by the name of Miles Patrick. Miles Patrick was, I think he was like 6'10", 6'11", something like that. He played in the NBA for a short stint, early NBA. He was before Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got there. And he became a PE teacher, okay, at Walter P. Jones Elementary School on the east side of Macon, Georgia. Okay. When I tell you as a kid, man, when you see for the first time, for you to see a person that's 6'10", okay, motherfucker's hand this big. Motherfucker's hands this big, man. And it's two things that he used to do. He would just bring you to him and he would thump you in your forehead. Or worse, okay? When he got there, there was a totally different attitude and change in behavior. Okay, totally different. All right, and shout out to him, man, because my dumb ass. Okay, I never forget. This was I was either in the 3rd or 4th grade, and I got my little birthday money, and like a dummy, I'm flashing my birthday money, and somehow, some way, I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no motherfucking hood cat, street cat, or whatever, but I'm dumbasses showing my money, and nigga stole my money. And I knew he had it. I just did not know how he got it. But I knew who had the money. Knew who had the money. And I'm about to get to fighting because I'm like, hey man, they stole my motherfucker. They stole my money, man. And I'm in tears, right? And mind you now, all right, the $40. This was the $40 before the $40. All right. So I'm a little kid, man, on the bus, and I ain't going. All right. We're not getting off the bus. Ain't nobody moving around. Like, hey, man, this dude got my money. All right. I know he got it. Well, you said, yeah, he got my money. Okay. So of course, they go in there, whatever, what have you. And he know the game. His passion know the game. Like I said, he had been in the NBA out in LA and stuff. He's at that time probably late 30s, possibly 40-year-old man. So he knew the game. Thank God. And he's from Macon. What I'm saying? He's originally, Macon born and bred. So he know how the game goes. So what the dude did was he didn't have the money. And I know this dude name to this day. Never forget it. Okay. But what he did was he slid the money to his brother. So Mr. Patrick, did his little thing, whatnot, what have you. I don't know if he paddled him or not, but however it went, he got my money back. Okay. And when I tell you, bruh, a $40 ass whooping nigga in the 4th grade, man, my mom was like, hey, don't worry about nothing. You, big 6'9" motherfucker, You little 5 foot nothing principal. I got this one, man. When I tell you, bruh, when you used to getting your ass whooped with a belt from an ass whooping specialist, okay, and you arm them with the power of a paddle, nigga, bruh. When I tell you, I was hopping, skipping, jumping, flipping, turning, running, every type of motherfucking cardio activity in that motherfucking office, and I couldn't get away, man, bruh. I don't know what it is about a black mama and that grip, nigga, the grip of death, nigga. If you ever was falling off a cliff, okay, I don't give a fuck if you was 300 pounds. You hear me? Send a black mama from the 80s or 90s or prior, and she'll hold it. All right. She not letting go. All right. That ass whooping strength, nigga. Strength with an F. Strength. Okay. Ain't nothing like it. You weren't getting away. Don't you run from me, nigga. No, you're not getting away. It is what it is. Might give it up. And I got my ass told the fuck up. But anyway, so when he got there, and it was usually like Miss Carter, again, like the godmother of the East Side of Macon, educator, lifelong, generations upon generations of families taught, and administered over. And I don't think she ever became the Bill County School Board like superintendent. I don't know if she, but I know she was on the school board. But either way, we went from this little bitty, raspy voice, and again, T.I. Miss Ella Carter. Okay, I don't know who, how, or why, but that expeditiously, okay, that came from is she a doctor? She might be a doctor. Dr. Ella, I don't know. I'm not gonna put an extra thing on it. I know Miss Ella Carter from Macon, Georgia. Expeditiously is trademarked. I don't give a damn we ain't gonna argue, okay? If you know, you know. If you don't, hey, okay, you had to be there. All right. But back alley cats and all of that, that was when the educators had a connection to not only the students, but the parents and the community. So we went from this little 5 foot nothing old lady to this 6'9" BABG, okay? BABG OG. Shout out to Mr. Patrick, man, again, bro. BABG OG, okay? And bro, when I tell you, you can hear them ass whoopings, all right? Nigga, the paddlings went down. The paddlings went down dramatically, okay? There was a quick turnaround in tomfoolery and horseplay and any type of just unruly behavior. Niggas didn't want to see him didn't want to see him, bro. Okay, do not want to see a big 6'9", 6'10" motherfucker with a big ass wood paddle in his hand. Okay, and you having to deal with that. So just that dynamic in itself, first starting out with the difference between female and male interactions and things like that. And of course, like I said, our generation was the last generation to see intact families. Everybody knows the late 80s to early 90s were pretty much like the beginning of the end of marriages. The big divorce booms happened, and the only difference back then was you did have quote unquote co-parenting going on. If and when your parents got divorced or whatnot, what have you, they get divorced, but you knew you at some point in time you had that initial foundation and established relationship with your parents, and then as you moved apart or whatever, you still maintained it. But we're gonna talk here again about Frankie and the difference between this brother here as we continue on.
Good, I don't want to talk.
Why you always tell me that?
Because I don't like talking to you. I don't like talking to you.
But you won't even let me ask the question before you try to answer.
You just said, how are you? You just said, how are you?
Oh my goodness. Demi, why are you so rude to your daddy?
I don't like talking to you.
But that doesn't give you a reason to be rude. You got to honor your mother and your father, sweetheart. Now, another big thing that Mr. Let Go brought up was, you know, well, it's somebody's recording this and we don't know the reason why. Well, listen, brother, I was in this position, okay? I was in this position where I had to have my, pretty much soon to be ex-wife record conversations I had with the mother, you know, and just the blatant disrespect and the unnecessary difficulty she was giving me, and just, you know, something as simple as following the court order. You know, hey, we're here waiting and you're not here and whatever. I get that when I get there. And, you know, well, hey, you're supposed to be here. Are you showing up? No, I told you I wasn't showing up and all these other things. And man, I had to do everything, bro. I had to get police reports. I had to get incident reports, file contempt orders and all these different things. You know what happened? Absolutely nothing. Again, man, this space was a space where I found out it was brothers out here spending. And again, shout out to the lead attorney. This is why I say, bro, you're better off going it alone, dog. Okay, if you're going to spend upwards of $10,000 to $20,000, somewhere between that range, in order to get very little, minuscule extra time, okay, with your children, or get absolutely nothing out of it, and you're just making the attorneys rich. Again, shout out to all the attorneys. Attorneys are needed, those things. But again, and from my experience and my understanding of the family law system, the fathers are the ultimate losers. Everybody gets paid off of family court but the father, okay? And the fathers are using the one paying. The mother's more likely than not, one or two things happen. She's usually more impoverished or whatnot, so she qualifies for free representation from the state. Or it was a divorce proceeding or whatnot, what have you. The father has to cover and pay for the mother's defense anyway. So now you're doubling up. So again, man, listen, you don't have to be a lawyer to represent yourself. And a lot of these times, man, I told y'all the stuff I've heard, bro, and so people are so ignorant. So at the very least, this is what I say to you: even if you're going to get representation, I would take the tandem approach, as in like, okay, hey, man, listen, I filed this, and this. All right, this is filed. This is this. I know this statute. This. Do whatever you can do to cut down your costs, because the lawyers charge for everything, okay, and rightfully so. Again, man, you know, getting a law degree and passing the bar and all those things, you deserve to be compensated for your time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, yeah, you deserve that. But at the same time, like you said, man, they're charging, you know, hundreds upon hundreds of dollars an hour. That retainer gets ate up quite quickly, and then on top of that, like the fees that are going to incur, and then like you say, there's just consultation fees. There's filing fees, there's court appearance fees, there's all these different things, man. So if you are going to, you know, get an attorney, what I do is I would, you know, by all means, if anything, get the ball rolling myself, get as much stuff possibly done, and then go the route of, hey, this is where I'm at. Everything's already done. This is filed. This is filed. This is filed. This is filed. I just need to show the court. Okay. And if I'm pretty sure, listen, it's a attorney out there that will be willing to do that, because even though they want the money, at the same time, it's like, hey, they still gonna charge you either way. However it go, they'll get that money. So make it easier on yourself and save a lot more money. Shout out to Kareem W for the 5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So I was in this position to where I had to have my, you know, ex record me going through these things. So, and it wasn't with my children, of course. It was with their mother. But again, people are so oblivious to and unaware of just the blatant disrespect that a actual father that wants to be involved has to endure, and it's expected that he's just supposed to take it. Okay, as a father, you're just supposed to be a toilet and a punching bag and a damn fucking what's the shit? What's the damn thing? The Ip Man dummy. You're supposed to be your Wing Chun. Yeah, you're supposed to be like a Wing Chun dummy. You're supposed to be all this stuff and just take shit, and do it with a smile on your face and never get angry, never lash out or do any of these things. And if and when you tell the story, well, what did you do? What the fuck you mean? What did I do? Again, when you go back and you listen to this, she immediately, I don't want to talk. First thing she said to her father, y'all, father, I don't want to talk to you. The hell? And this is allegedly a 10-year-old.
Okay, I don't want to talk.
I get that much, but you don't have to be rude about it.
I said I I
know that. I heard you the first 4 times, but you still need to stop being rude. That's the whole thing about it.
But I'm telling you something and you're not listening.
Because I'm the parent, you can't tell me nothing. That's the thing.
I can express my feelings.
You definitely can, but you can do that without being rude as well. That's the whole thing. That's the key.
Okay,
You don't be rude and you don't be disrespectful. Okay, but you don't have to talk over me either. But you don't have to talk over me. So if you don't want to talk and you're going to talk over me, you could just be quiet and let me say what I got to say. See, again, this is the problem that mothers don't realize. They're pretty much setting their daughters up for failure. A respect for male authority, okay, especially a male that's a man. Okay, we're talking about your father. The black man is so far removed from the not only the black community, but especially the black family unit, that he's not respected even with his children. Okay, and his daughters, most importantly. Again, as important as a man is for a son has a chance to become, being that he's a man, is going to be able to protect himself and handle himself in the worst possible, situation, fight or flight, whatnot, what have you, testosterone, muscle mass, bone density, all these things, whatnot, what have you. But a daughter, no. And that's what these women are so bitter and so just vindictive, to the point of where they don't care about putting their daughters at risk by having their daughters have this initial vitriol for, again, the most important man in their life. Again, the human species, human animal, is the only animal as to where the father bears the brunt of the protection of the offspring. Again, out in the wild, the mothers are the ones that are, going to lay down their lives and kill or die in defense of their children in safety. But again, with the human dynamic, like I said, of course, there are some animals who here or there, but that's the expectation of the father. And for whatever reason, the African American, black, whatever you want to call us, are the only ones that seem to just completely, totally throw that shit out the window. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. So, when they do this, and you have this initial disrespect again for the most important man in your life, all right, and then you move on to relationships and adulthood and all these different things. Well, now you wonder why you have this enmity between the black man and the black woman. Well, again, the black woman was taught by a black woman to disrespect the black man. Okay, the most important black man of all, which is the reason that she is here. Again, without your father, you will not be here. Okay, when he says that honor thy father and thy mother, there's a reason for that, because again, this is you can't have one without the other, right? You can't. Everybody has a mama, everybody has a daddy. Okay, but for whatever reason, the black community is only one that's ever recognized. Okay. You get that from your mama. But I love you and I miss you anyway.
Bye-bye.
This right here is a prime example of how these baby mama terrorists raise their kids.
Shout out to Mr. Palmer, man. So that right there, and this is my thing. I went through this, okay? I went through a time and period. I disclosed this and I shared this with you guys, where me and my daughter were not on the best of terms, and it was no fault of her own. But at the same time, like I said, you're my child, and you are a child, and you will stay in a child's place. Okay, your mama can do whatever the hell she wants. She don't like me, cuss me out, all this other shit, what have you, la la la. But for you, your little ass, that you gonna talk to me any type of way out of line, lost your motherfucking mind. I will whoop your ass in front of your mama. Okay. Don't you ever get it fucked up, okay? I'm a man. I'm your father, all right? I ain't no motherfucking part-time. I ain't no baby daddy. I'm your goddamn daddy, okay? Since day one. And I told my daughter this. Oh, you won't play with it if you want to. Again, man, all enemies, foreign and domestic. Baby mamas included. No fucks given over my kids. And I had to have this conversation with my daughter. And again, as long as she was able to, have that, pretty much her mother controlling her mindset of me. You know what I'm saying? She looking at me through the lens of her mother's perception of me. Hey, we had issues and problems. But hey, and I gave her time. And sometimes you just have to do that. Again, for the brothers that walk away and do things, man, listen, I would never ever fault a man for his reaction to his circumstances and situation, because I'd much rather him do that than do something drastic and hurt his kids or hurt somebody else. People don't understand the dangers of men. Okay. Eventually, a man is a problem solver. Let's just say that. Okay. And men are literally wired for violence if necessary. I'm not encouraging violence. I'm not saying it. But what people don't understand is just how much of a service and a favor a lot of these fathers and men do to not only their children, but their children's mothers by just simply removing themselves. Because I'm telling you, bro, there were times, bro, when I wanted to. Bro, I ain't no street nigga. Never claim to be, don't want to be. When I tell you, nigga, I wanted to get that motherfucking, this pre-COVID, nigga, mask on, nigga, fuck it, mask on, and pull up on somebody in the middle of the night, you know what I mean, and pistol whoop their ass and skeet off. All right, it was that bad, man. And again, these women don't even think about, not only the risk that they're putting, the children in by the father not being involved, but the risk that they're putting themselves in. And the sad part about it is, I take that back. They do know, they want to goat you, to provoke you, to make you do physical harm to them, to the point of where you jeopardize your own freedom and your own possible life. Okay, by doing something to them. So be smart, man. Be smart. Yeah, it's like Bud telling you, man. Hey, bro. Hey, yeah, exactly. Hey, ski mask way, baby. All right, telling you. You know what I mean? You got to understand that. No, Kenny, we good, man. We good, bro. See, listen. Hey, shout out to Cortez, man. Men have told me they were contemplating suicide. Homicide. Yeah, man. And listen, brother, and that's what I'm telling you, bro. Again, a lot of times too, man, it got so bad for me, bro. I got shingles, dog. I got shingles. I was 20 some years old, and I'm thinking it's just some rash or whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on with my back? Like, my back is burning and all this shit's going off. And pretty much, man, I was so stressed to the point, bro, where I developed fucking shingles, man. And that's the stress levels that you're being having thrust upon you. And you're trying to not only stay involved in your kid's life, but then function in your regular life and do everything you have to do in order to provide for yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? For your children. But these women don't care, man. They don't care. They really want to, a lot of times, want to see you destroyed. And that's what I knew for a fact was going on with me. And it's like the only person that could see it other than me or gave a fucking care was my wife at the time. And even that caused so much stress and strife between us. Is because, like, I'm so focused on maneuvering or contemplating getting back and doing all these different things as to where I couldn't enjoy and focus on my not only my wife, but my family, because we had our kid together. And this is purposely done by these females that are bitter 9 times out of 10 because that man has moved on and he's no longer interested in them. And again, man, I know you heard it 1,000 times, but the dad don't want you, don't mean he don't want his kids. But nobody ever steps up and says these things. That's the fucked up part about it. So, yeah, man. So let's see what we get that one. So we're gonna get into the whole Frankie thing, all right? And for you guys that do not know, Frankie pretty much was Keisha Cole's estranged mother that came along. Of course, after her fortune and fame and all these different things. And she was an addict, and she was a character and all these different things. And if I remember right, so one of the sisters was mad at Keisha Cole because I think it was OT Genesis or whatever said something about their mom or whatever. And she's sending all kinds of threats and crazy shit and whatnot, and it's on site and it's this and I would never this and never that. And it's just like, look, man, Look, and they made all kinds of excuses for Frankie, of course. Mind you, Frankie gave Keisha Cole up for adoption, you know, lifelong drug addict. And it never fails as to where the classic Tupac line, even though you was a crack fiend mama, you always a black queen mama. Again, where is that for the dad? You know, where is that? Where's been the positive dad song? The only positive dad song I can remember was Big Crit, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I can't remember one outside of that, of recent times, Overtime, because even though you quote that, no love for my dad because the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry because my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. Okay, but he didn't go into the details as to, well, why was your father absent? Did he even ask the question to his mother? And this is why I say women bear most of the brunt and responsibility for the whatever situation their kids end up in when it comes to parentage, and the father being there or not. You as a woman are supposed to vet that man in however long amount of time to ensure that not only does this dude have good, leadership, manly qualities just to even deal with you, but father is a father. This is somebody that you're going to be able to trust and depend on, for 18 years minimum to have a child with. Okay. That even if shit don't go right between you and him, you know that he's going to be there for his children. And somehow, some way, that element has just totally been eliminated from the family dynamic, and as much as people talk about two to tango and this, that, and the other, again, women hold the most to lose in just the whole child situation. Okay. Even though we modern, we in love saying this, but again, modern times, it's highly unlikely that a woman's going to die from child pregnancy, but it is a chance. Complications, everything from gestational diabetes, weight gain, your body changing, just all those different things. You're at a much higher risk whenever you're pregnant, and that's 9 months out of your life as to where you're pretty much, well, shit, used to be. Hell, these bitches be. I don't know, man. Y'all remember the thing where the dude run up on old girl and whoop her out the club, bro, because she twerking and this and the other and whatever, and the dude run up on he hit her with a 2-hand choke, like he trying to hold on to a catfish out the water, and then you turn around and you see that big ass bump. Okay, the fuck you doing in the club with his baby, allegedly? Hell, who even knows, man? Nowadays, that's another big thing too. While people out here filing petitions, man, as men, regardless of color, regardless of race, regardless of political affiliation, bro, we really got it on the ball with this men's right thing, man. Where paternity tests got to be automatic, bro. Okay, paternity test, married or not married, should be mandatory. It should be automatic at this point because, again, you got 33% on paternity fraud, man. That's way too much. A third of pregnancies that happen or paternity tests are false. Married people included. Listen, dog, this game's way too dirty out here. Way too dirty out here, and there are no protections for the men. And what you have happen is you have men that are stupidly know or stupidly think. And if you're married, I mean, you're done. Any child had within a marriage, that's automatically yours under the law, whether it's not yours biologically or not. And there's been plenty of fathers who had to fight that. He had to get a DNA test and say, hey man, well look, we're married, but bro, she cheated. Look, this is what the blood test say. Well, sir, this and these states do this, man, because why? Child support is a fucking scam. Okay, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars scam, bro. Okay. It's pretty much like a state slush fund that isn't regulated at all, and they don't give a damn about who owes it, who doesn't owe it. The infamous story down in Texas, I think it's one in Detroit, of people even where the father was proven not to be theirs, and these men have tens of thousands of dollars due in child support, and the court refuses to, relinquish these men of this debt. Well, that tells you what this is about, man. Whenever it comes to, the best interest of the children, the only interest that the court has when it comes to the father and the children is in pain. Okay, there's a reason why a lot of people don't know this. You have to establish paternity, especially if you're not in a marriage situation. Okay, you have no custody, no visitation, no legal rights to your children in the capacity of a parent. Okay, you have to file for those. Okay, if you're married, it's automatic. Okay, but again, you have to file for those, and again, even in that's totally separate from child support, even though they're completely and totally intertwined and dependent upon each other, because the amount of time you have with the children is going to either reduce or increase the amount of child support you have to pay. Okay. What's that? What's the question, Young Swift? But let's see. Frankie dead at 61, overdose on a birthday, family says. Frankie Lons has died, passed away on her birthday after several decades long with addiction. And again, man, listen, the black woman is always deified. The mother, shout out to Chronicles, the mother goddess can do no wrong. Again, what's the last? Well, damn, I guess it's a bad question. I guess it's just a celebration for junkies. I mean, shit. 2020 and beyond, man, is the era of the junkie, bro. All right, listen, dog. Dependency and substance abuse is a serious problem and an issue. But at the same time, like I said, like anything else, if you really truly care about yourself and your family members, you'll do what's necessary in order to get yourself the help to better your situation and move yourself out of that lifestyle. But that's self-inflicted, unfortunately. I mean, I can't sympathize with that because, again, I witnessed that myself on my own family, and it's a decision to be made. You know what I mean? It's a decision to be made. And the thing about it is, the more and more, you make excuses for and things, man, the more and more people are just going to, stay in that situation where they're hurting everyone around them. There's a whole bunch of enabling going on. I know the whole, oh yeah, Young Swift, yeah, man, you ain't been listening enough, young fella. Yeah, 1/3, man, about 1/3 paternity test being false, brother. Wow, Robert Chavis, you said what? I gotta look up that one, fam. I just left VA too. Oh no, it's not. In the state of VA, even if you're married, you don't have custody at all. I don't know. I gotta look at that one, bro. If you're married, bro, the two parents has to be. I know. Virginia is a commonwealth, but even in the commonwealth, bro, that can't be possible because if the child is had under a marriage, the parents have equal rights to the children until the marriage is dissolved. That should be across the board. But hey, I could be wrong. Appreciate that information, brother. So Frankie, I don't know who this dude is with the thing. Sammy. Who the hell is Sammy? Can we? All right, fair use. I mean, I ain't played this, y'all. We're going to play it. Hold on, Mama. I got to restart this shit. You trying to match on the pictures right now. You hate. Hold on. Yeah, it got me, man. Appreciate y'all, bro. God damn, I gave a whole little thing. So yeah, man, I don't know what the hell was going on with that. I don't know why you'd be saying that to your mama, but hey, man, again, you know, the mother always gets the benefit of the doubt. She could be criminal, an addict, all these different things, and he wants his mother to be remembered as somebody that wanted all her kids to be together. How's that possible when, again, the most famous kid, the one that's relevant that any of you guys have known outside of herself, that's who she gave up. She gave her child up. And again, the father can be the most resourceful, most dependable, upstanding, law-abiding citizen, loyal, responsible, all those different things. And he's a deadbeat. No evidence, no proof, just a word of a mother, even to the point of being a junkie criminal, and everybody goes along with it. No one challenges it, no one says anything about it. It's just her word, and it is what it is. And the sad thing about it is the father never gets that benefit of the doubt, not even. You know what I'm saying? You can see this guy, you can know his resume, he can have all the ducks in a row, but an angry, bitter black woman that happen to have kids by him and just come through and just completely and totally destroy not only his reputation, but a relationship with his children. Prevent the children from being there with him and being involved. Birthdays, holidays, special occasions, lie to the children. Again, we just saw the situation of the guy, the actor from Superfly, saying that his mother deliberately lied to him his entire childhood about his father's whereabouts and the reasons for his father not being involved. And again, man, this is why the onus is on us to be careful, man. Protect your seed, dog. All right. Know what you nutting in, my guy. Okay. All right. You can't be out here like a motherfucking acorn and just put your nuts in all these squirrels. You hear me? All right. You got to be careful with that. And again, man, like they said, throw baby. All right. Throw baby. All right. You can always, one or two, man. You can't be skeeting off in these in these you can't be skeeting off in these Tatianas out here, bro, and expecting good results. All right. Better have a plan B, all right, before and after. If that's your activity you'll be getting into. But even then, man, that's not even all the way guaranteed. But you got to be careful. First off, but most importantly, like I said, again, the mothers have a huge advantage in the situation. And what proves it is this, and I had this earlier, and I'm doing this off the top of my head. What you'll see that a lot of the fathers that don't pay child support. Why? Because they're impoverished to the level where they really can't afford it. and it would be, wouldn't be beneficial in trying to get child support from anyway. And when I looked at the stats and data, it was like 41% of the fathers that were supposed to pay child support didn't pay it because they were just poor. They were poor below poverty line. And again, what does it bring us back to? It brings us back to the woman doing the most important thing, okay, first and foremost, and it is selecting the right mate and the right male to procreate with. Okay, again, that choice is exclusively, okay, up to the mother. The first gift you should give your child as a mother is a good father. I say again, the first gift you should give your child as a mother, and I'm putting this on the mother because again, the mother has to carry the child. The child making it here is fully upon the mother. Okay, her making it through, having a healthy pregnancy, doing what she's supposed to do, all these different things. God forbid she aborts it. Yeah, we're not even gonna get into that. I'm gonna just completely and totally leave that out. Shout out to Frankie for that, for not aborting Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole, despite her own, her own personal flaws and things like that, Keisha Cole had a beautiful voice, man. I remember that, especially she had a couple of joints on the introduction thing she did with Missy Elliott, and then like the love song, that shit was dope. You know what I mean? And she's, what I'm saying, come on in the club, and I remember grabbing a little, what I'm saying, long hair, thick red bone, but we gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was talented. And unfortunately, man, some of the most talented people are born to some of the most irresponsible mothers, and that's the poison pill that happens here. Because again, man, like I said, that's your mom, man. You only get one mom, you only get one dad. But and it can't be done. Like I said, the bond you create with a mother is completely and totally different, because again, the mother is your gateway into the earth. Okay. Not saying that the mother is more important than the father. Not saying that by any way, shape, form, or fashion. What I'm saying is that bond is created before you even come into the earth, because your mom is your way here. She's your incubator. She's your your shield. She's the source of your nutrients. Her heartbeat, you learn that. Her smell, her this, all these different things and whatnot, what have you. You know your mother, because again, the whole point in you developing here and getting here is through her. She's your portal into the world. So once you start developing your little personalities and whatnot, and hanging around, and getting a little more independent and growing as a human being, you're still going to have that connection to your mother, even more so than your father. Even though, like I said, there was a study when it comes to voice recognition, that a child can differentiate the father's voice out of any other man. That was a study done, I don't know how long ago, but it was, just looking to it to find it out. So the bond with a father that's there early is crucial, and the child can differentiate and tell. I appreciate you guys for being in here, man. I don't know, I'm not looking at the thing, but please, mods, let me get a like count, man. Let me see what the likes are, and whatever they are, if they're not 100%, get them up to 116. And also, if you guys like this conversation, please share it, so we can get more people up in here, man. You know how you're gonna do. We coming up on the hour mark, so I'm gonna be dropping a link here shortly. And it's just like, that, and for you hate God niggas, I know I gotta say this though. Pardon me for you hate God niggas that don't believe in nothing but just live, eat shit, and die. But there's a spiritual and thing to this, man. And that bond with your mother is unique. I'll just say that. And so you're gonna give your mother a lot more leeway and excuses because that's your mom. And when you have a mom that's of the criminal, or addict, or anyone that's a manipulator, from personality wise, criminals are manipulators, addicts are manipulators. Okay, they say whatever they have to say to get what they want, or they need for the time being. And the easiest person to manipulate is who? A child who doesn't have the cognitive development and understanding that an adult will have. And they leverage their children, they play on their emotions, man, it's just so many different things, man. And like I said, unfortunately, you know, that child is a prisoner to a person that loves them by convenience. I say again, the child is a prisoner to a mother that loves them at her convenience, and is willing to sacrifice her child to the point of where, you know, they're jeopardizing their safety by things like, you know, leaving them home alone or leaving them in the care of you know, shady or just playing down outright, you know, unsafe individuals, like in this position with Keisha Cole, giving them away and not even want to be involved in their lives, and yet still, you know, you love your mama. You know, I watched a couple of the episodes of the interaction between Keisha Cole and her mom, and you know, as successful as Keisha Cole was at the time, and she had to, you know, put up with, or you know, try and deal with and cope with her mother giving her away. As soon as she came back into her life, you know, she did everything she could to you know, act like she had did something wrong to her mother versus, you know what I'm saying, versus the other way around. So yeah. Um Keisha was given up by Frankly by and her biological father, Virgil Hunter, for adoption at a very young age. She ended up being raised by family friends and reunited with her birth parents later in life as an adult, after she hit it big in the music scene. The family dynamic is one Keisha actually filmed for reality TV on BET, featuring a few different shows, with the main series being Keisha Cole, My New Life, on which Frankie cameoed often, and where the mother and daughter duo shared many heart to hearts. Keisha was also quite vocal on her mother's addiction struggles, keeping tabs on her, checking in rehab, and encouraging her to stay it straight and narrow, posting photos and videos of her mom before her time at the facility and cheering her on success. As of March of last year, Frankie hit a huge benchmark, staying 60 days sober, so that her daughter was so proud of to share with the IG fans and followers. She has yet to comment on her mother's death. Frankie had just turned 61. And again, man, yeah, man. Hey, unfortunately, Charles, you know, that's a new thing, man. 2021 to 2020 and beyond, man. The junkies, the junkies got a hold on it, bro. Now let's get into this one. So who are we gonna be next, y'all? Who's gonna be next? Oh, let me start here because he's showing this. It should be right there. Come on, pull up. Come on, right now. So another mother. There we go. Right. Who's the mama of the millennia that we're gonna talk about next, y'all? And the funny thing about it is that these shout out to G Dizzle. Yeah, man. I don't know why or how, but again, man, those are the MVPs of the black community, y'all. The junkie is the fucking MVP of the goddamn black community right now, y'all. Sorry. I don't know how or why. But and Charles Merchant, no, we aren't. We aren't. Again, that's just, you know, that's, you know, for some reason, like I said, it was news and headlines for TMZ of, again, Keisha Cole and her right was, you know, something like what, 10 years ago. But again, you know, at this point, a far over the hill R&B artist's drug addict mother dying is a news article. You know, when's the last black man that had anything of the same? You know what I'm saying? Biz Markie was an actual musical artist for over shit. What? How long Biz Markie was doing the music thing? Probably like 40 some odd years. You know what I'm saying? And you know, TMZ is covering her just like they covered Biz Markie. Ain't that something? Again, man, shout out to Young Swift. You already see it, man. He know the deal. So, it's Gloria James, and again, man, it's and this is why you can't. And this is why I say, man, the first red pill rage that a black man experiences, man, is the fact of him finding out that his mother betrayed him. His mother didn't teach him the ways. His mother took advantage of his God-given talents. His mother didn't appreciate or invest in him to improve and get better in the things or whatnot, what have you. And she's just there to try and steal control and have a say and and command his life, even though she pretty much didn't do anything to benefit it positively other than bring him to the world. And can you blame him? Again, man, this is one of those catch-22s and lose-lose situation that no matter how much you want to fault the kid or the man, the boy that becomes a man, you really can't, because again, man, there's so much conditioning and programming and just psychological manipulation and trauma and different things, bro, that again, we don't take into consideration, for one, because well, first off, because we're men. You're supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be that. Don't love these hoes, all this shit, whatever have you. But then, secondly, and this is even bigger than the first and the former, is that there's no understanding of mental health in the Black community. Again, man, I don't think I know for a fact, Black people don't understand just how traumatic trauma is. How detrimental and how impactful for a lifetime it can be. And it's quite influential, from a negative or positive, mostly negative, especially if you're talking about trauma, you're talking about abuse, you're talking about manipulation, you're talking about all these things. We don't have the importance of therapy. We don't have the importance of psychological work and training and all these different things. And the thing about it is, if you thought about it, even if you were to pay out of pocket, I think without an insurance provider or whatnot, or if you had an insurance provider, for the most part, it would be cheaper or around the same price as a pair of Jordans. And if we're able to get out here and I know I'm the Jordan defender, but I just had to have something that a reference point where we all understand. For $200-$300, you'd be able to sit down on the monthly and sit down and talk with somebody about all the things that bother you to this day and are stressing you out, making you, how we say, age faster, making your life difficult, just in your personal life or your family life, hell, your relationships and your dynamics with, same sex, opposite sex, your own personal view, your confidence, your hangups, your insecurities, all those different things, right? $200-$300, but we find out how much money we spend in the club, how much money you spend on a pack of cigarettes, how much money you niggas spend on getting high, how much money we spend on them hoes, you know what I'm saying? And then you go your entire life without ever sitting down and talking to somebody about what's really bothering you. And I know, man, I know. Me myself, I never sat down with a therapist or psychologist, psychiatrist, but I definitely did a lot of self work to get myself to the point where I'm today. And trust me, it's not over with. And one of these days, I might, when I get time to sit down and do that, I definitely need to do that. When it comes to my kids, my daughter in particular, to pretty much have her get to say everything from, just a clinical standpoint, to where she can understand that, it's not just me trying to manipulate her or, all these different things, and fix a lot of the damage that was caused by, unfortunately not me, but her mother at the time. Me and their mom at this point, I mean, it's just pretty neutral. I don't have no more ill will, and she's not making things difficult. And I do, thank God for that. That's something I definitely pray for. I know you hate God, niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not believe that, but just those things. And yeah, so LeBron James, despite whatever you may think of him personally, again, man, top 10, we'll just say that, right? Top 10 all-time NBA player. But nah, man, really, LeBron James will be top 5, man. Like I said, LeBron James is now the best best small forward of all times. And as good as KD is, I don't see KD catching him. I don't see KD being able to have the longevity or have the championship run and the records and all the things that LeBron's going to have with an Achilles injury. I hope he does. I really do. But it's unlikely that he does. That's the only person I can think that will have a chance of being close to eclipsing LeBron. That's in in the current lens. But LeBron James, one of to me, the greatest athlete of all time. Okay. I know he's not the best basketball player of all time. When we talk about athleticism, man, 6 foot, 6'7", 6'8", 200, anywhere from 260, 250 pounds, whatnot, what have you, something like a 50-inch vertical, longevity, strength, power, speed, all those different things, man. I think you would have trained LeBron James to be a wide receiver or a tight end. He would have been great at that. Would have trained LeBron James to be a boxer. He would have been great at that. Again, just looking at him from a physiological standpoint, the dude's a freak of nature. And the thing about it is, one of the wonderful things about that is, where do you get 50% of your DNA from? And as much as we know about LeBron James, we know nothing about his father, but we know whatever his father was, again, his father helped contribute to one of the, greatest physical specimens that the sports world has ever seen. So, this is quick, private message between him and his mom. And of course, he had to show everybody, because he loved his mama, right? Congratulations, kid, on being the first player in league history to score triple-double against all the teams in the league. You are the GOAT. You should celebrate with some wine tonight. Love you. Oh, mama. Thank you so much. You're the GOAT. And actually for raising me the way you did and everything you did for me. Like Tupac said, against all odds, love you too. And again, man, it's funny to me, the whole praise of the Tupac and I guess the Afeni Shakur archetype of mother. Okay. If I remember right, you guys help me out, man. If Afeni Shakur had Tupac in jail, right? Because Afeni Shakur was she was a Black Panther Party member. And if I remember right, she had Tupac in jail. So shout out to Watch Game, exactly, man. There's the whole era of the son husband, this thing as to where the mother treats her her son as if it's like her boyfriend. I remember this thing was going around. It's like I think Lil Duval said it. He said, "Damn, man, it's so funny to me how y'all dress y'all son just like the nigga y'all hate, they daddy, And it's just like, look, man, you got him with the Gucci this and the Louis Vuitton that and a little keychain and the shoes and the haircut and all this other shit. And it's just like, what are you doing? He's 3. you got $1,500 worth of clothes and outfits and everything on a 3-year-old kid, man. You got him looking like he going to the club. What the fuck going on here? What are we doing? But again, man, like you said, these mothers have these sons to have that comfort of the man they know they can control. Okay, everything but the sexual aspect of it, they gonna mold this man into the man they wish that would have stayed, pretty much, right? The man they wish would have stayed, Yeah, man, that's after the fact. But let's get into this. Let's see. Right here. So this is the real one I want to do right here. And again, man, this one is huge because this one is way back. Okay. So it's going to be hard. And nobody's ever going to talk about this now because does it have a date on this? So, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. So this is when LeBron James came into the league. Okay. Right before Saturday, March 1st, 2003. Okay. This is from 2003, y'all. Okay. So this was before LeBron James became the, billion-dollar man that he is today. Or soon to be billion-dollar man, lifetime Nike contract, multi-business, clutch sports, orchestrator, all these different things. LeBron got his hands in a whole bunch of things as he should, extremely wealthy and influential guy from the sports aspect. So America's Most Wanted, talking about LeBron. We just go jump down here, man, to the point of where they pretty much give the rundown on him. Okay, here we go. The story of LeBron James is the story of a teenager who has endured a hellish childhood and now stands at the cusp of living out his dream. But it's also a story of sport in America. The money, spongers, the greed, the crooks, and the hangers on. Be warned, by the time you have finished reading, you might feel like taking a long cleansing shower. Glow James grew up in an apartment in Akron with her grandmother, her mother, 2 brothers, and she says anyone else who needed a place to stay. She was 16 when gave birth to LeBron James on 30th December 1984. 16 years old, y'all. Having a baby. 16 years old, having a child. The chances of being successful, and again, of course, bro, the exception is not the rule. All right. But unfortunately, again, man, most of these mothers operate in this hopes of hitting the, two things they want out of the man and the child. Okay. It's 2 things they want out of the man and the child. They want to hit the fucking baby daddy lottery, or they want to hit the fucking the star athlete, star entertainer, rich kid, gifted kid lottery. That's the 2 things that these mothers have whenever they're out here getting skeeted in. Okay. All right. And it looks like whenever it happens, man, they know how to groom these children from childhood to the point of where they would never dare say anything against their moms, no matter how much, no matter how much pain, no matter how much anguish, no matter how much hell they put them through. Yeah. Gloria Glow James, the father was Anthony McLeland, a casual boyfriend with extensive criminal record. He wasn't the kind to set up a standing order for child support payments. Gloria's grandmother died the following year. Her mother 6 months later. She was left to look after her son and her 2 brothers. I wouldn't wish some of the stuff they went through on anyone, she has since said. Not on my own worst enemy. She has never elaborated, but it's clear that James' domestic life was chaotic. LeBron was talked about having to move the house 6 times in 1 year. So, again, they're going to get into it there. So let me go ahead and say it. As an 8-year-old LeBron, he missed 100 out of 162 days of school. I saw drugs, guns, killings. It was crazy, he said. Meanwhile, court records in Akron show that Gloria James was busy compiling a criminal record while her son was growing up. Contempt of court, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespassing. She has spent total 7 days in jail. There was never any drugs involved, she said in her defense. If there's a Damascene moment in this story, when the Jameses moved in with the family of Frank Walker, the coach of the American football team he played for. Walker volunteered to look after the boy when he learned about Glow's difficulty in providing a stable home. The transformation was immediate. Following year, the youngster won the school's attendance prize. My life changed. I had a shelter and food, LeBron said. I never forget what the Walkers did for me, especially Frank. He doesn't get the recognition he deserved because he's real quiet. Was the first one to give me a basketball and the first one to show real interest. And again, man, it's funny, right? So LeBron saying this in this interview way back in 2003. But where has Mr. Walker been in any of his championship celebrations? Where has Mr. Walker been? I'm not sure, but has Mr. Walker been on The Shop? LeBron James's barbershop show where he sits down and with a whole bunch of niggas he don't know and sip wine and talk about current events and all these different things and whatnot, what have you. This man that literally you could argue very easily. And this is LeBron James's words, man, that without this man, there will be no LeBron James. Why? Simply because you weren't able to focus. You weren't able to even participate in sports the way you were supposed to. Why? Because your mother was out here, ripping and running the streets, jeopardizing your freedom, jeopardizing your safety, jeopardizing your future. And yet still, what do we have? The ultimate praise from her son. Even though she was the person who was the most likely person to destroy his chances of ever being what he became. But again, what? Like you said, man, these mothers are massive manipulators, and they groom their sons to love them unconditionally when they love their children opportunistically. And again, man, as I say, it's so messed up, the black boy dynamic of childhood, and no one ever speaks of it. No one ever speaks of it, man. And if and when you do what I'm doing today, oh, you hate your mama, you don't love your mama, you's a coon, you's a self-hater, use this, use that. Well, nah, man, I'm able to sit here and just, adequately assess, just the double standard of parenting in the Black community. Again, man, what's the last time that a deadbeat mom was called a deadbeat mom and not celebrated? I've never seen anybody come out and say, hey, my mama ain't shit. Never seen it. And mind you, the thing about it is when you start looking into how hard it is for a father to even, bro, you can't maintain custody as a father doing these things. All right, if you're a father and you have a criminal record, if you're a father and you're impoverished, if you're a father and your child misses 160 some odd days of school, bro, they're gonna take that kid and they're either gonna award him to the state or they're gonna give him to the next female family member or the family member of that child. And after they do that, they're gonna force you to pay child support. That's the harsh, ugly truth that we live in society, man. It just is, And if you say something about it, well, again, you're this self-hating, woman hating, all these different things, simply because you're willing to say the quiet things out loud. And again, this praise of a woman, and again, unfortunately, all due respect to Keisha Cole. I mean, your mom's died, all these things I know, but when you, as I always say, man, death doesn't give a person deification. It doesn't absolve them from who they were while they were living. If that was the case, I mean, shit, everybody be a great person, I do have a quote unquote spiritual or faith-based belief, and everybody don't make it okay to heaven, quote unquote, or to whatever it may be, the place of paradise or whatever you may believe it is. This ain't motherfucking all dogs go to heaven, not people, goddamn. All right. Mike. Hey man, if you want your dog to end up in a better place, hey, just send him to the Mike Vick motherfucking, animal shelter. You feel me? All right. Peter done put more motherfucking dogs in heaven than Mike Vick ever could have. That they don't tell y'all about. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, man, having that understanding of listen, man, a person, has to be held accountable, and you should tell the true story about who they were when they leave here. But again, this is the diabolical game played on Black children as to where you can't do it. It's not with your mom. No one gives a fuck if you like the Tupac verse explains it, man. Your dad say your dad ain't this, your dad ain't that. I heard plenty of rappers from Jay-Z to Tupac to Beanie Siegel to who else? Name somebody else who's just like their dad wasn't shit. Everybody's quick to fucking shit on their dad. But everybody's always sympathetic and empathetic and any and every reason for their mother's behavior. And what's crazy is shout out to Ghostface Killer, man. Ghostface Killer had one of the hardest and one of the saddest fucking songs, man. I'm not a Mary J. Blige fan, but I'm telling you, Ghostface Killer and fucking Mary J. Blige, All That I Got Is You, nigga, that shit'll bring you to tears, damn near, man. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? It really will. And to hear Ghostface go through and explain the situation, and again, it's the prototype or the base model for a lot of these situations out here. And Ghostface is like what, 40? Damn near 50. No, Wu-Tang's members should be closer to 50 than their 40s. So this is an almost 50-year-old man, documenting this and telling the story in rap of where he would have been, a kid in like the 70s. And this is how far back that this era of, irresponsible childbirthing happened, right? So, once you have that understanding, man, No, not Method. It's Ghostface. No, last year is Ghostface. All that I got is you. Not you. You're thinking about you're all that I need to get by. No. Iron Man. Yeah, the Iron Man album. Um, Iron Man album. All that I got is you. If you guys don't know, man, somebody grab that link and throw it in here, man. If I ain't heard it, but that nigga, that should have make you, man. That should have make you damn near cry, man. But it's a perfect blend of pretty much storytelling and Mary J. Blige singing the hook and all these different things. And what's crazy is when at some point in time, when 50 Cent was doing his thing, he was he was beefing with Ghost, I guess, and he was like, niggas talking about kicking roaches out of cereal and shit. Because he was talking about picking roaches out of cereal box, and talking about how they slept with a whole bunch of kids in the bed. It's just so many different things, man, and it's just like this impoverished attitude and cavalier, no pun intended, attitude that the Black community had when it came to having children. And furthermore, why is that though? Because when you think or you look to the government as being a place of your provision and people to take care of the children, well, you don't really plan or worry about who's going to be there with you to make sure these children grow up properly in the proper situation. And that's one of the biggest things that we've proven in this space, the whole welfare and system complex when it comes to the Black community and the Black family. Daddy government has become daddy, and daddy government then forces daddy to pay mommy money, but that's as far as we want him to go. We don't want him to have an influence. We don't want him to impact. We don't want him to be present. We don't want him to be a representation of Black male masculinity for his sons or his daughters. Okay. We just need him to send that money in and stay his Black ass fuck about it away. And then what we do is we empower the mother to keep having children through the system, again, with poor men. Listen, this is what I'm saying. And I'm gonna have to find this, man, because I had it earlier. Okay. These women are having children with poor men. So when they have this talk and they say, oh, Black men ain't paying nothing but, $200 a month for child support. Well, why? Why is that? Why is you fucking $40 niggas? Why are you letting, why are you letting, the low value man be the first to motherfucking skeet up in you? And this is another big thing too, to the shout out to KS, Kevin Samuels, the whole thing, or what I will have you. These women spend their earliest years squandering them away and, giving their wombs away to any, Tom, Dick, Harry, Jarquavius, Roderick, Lil Juju, and whoever else in the hell, had some of that wonderful white stuff of life to lay off in them. Just, do that. And then lo and behold, 10, 15 years later, they're in their 30s and they got a damn near, teenager, or they got a kid, and they saying how they deserve somebody that's making six figures. Damn, bitch, how the hell you deserve a six-figure nigga? And you let a goddamn $20 nigga give you a $250 goddamn bill, $250,000 bill. Okay? How does that work? You let the nigga that work at churches go ahead and skeet up in your the nigga that fried the chicken, man. And you telling me you want Mr. Purdue. All right. He on the fucking board. He a board member at Mr. Purdue. You know what I'm saying? You want him to be the one to motherfucking marry you? Bitch, you lost your motherfucking mind. You better go get them chicken nuggets. You better get them chicken gizzards, bitch. You better go get them gizzards, them 5-piece gizzards and jalapenos, bitch. You better go make it right with that, man. And I don't give a fuck how fine you is. Listen, man, that's another thing too. Listen, bro. The type of dude you lay with, man, that's the type of dude you stay with. But again, the simping is so strong, and again, that's a big part of these women that are turning these men into these ultra sympathizers, dog. That's the problem. Shout out to Sister George, bro. Sister George said this the other day, man. We really are at war. I don't think you guys understand that. These women have purposely programmed a whole several generations of young men, bro, to be empathizers of just feminine, a lack of femininity, and purposeful subversion. Purposeful, bro. Purposeful manipulation and sympathy for undeserving women just because they got titties and a vagina. You know what I'm saying? Just because she's born a woman and she got a pussy, you supposed to fucking forgive her for all the shit that she's done, and you be there to, be her shoulder to cry on, be her fucking her shield, be her fucking her weapon, her protector. Look, bro, if I don't know you, I don't owe you. And that's my shit. Okay. If I don't know you, I don't owe you. And black women, you guys need to be more verbal of that. Listen, okay. Black women. And I know it's very few and far between you guys, but you guys have to start speaking in tandem with, just right-minded black men. Okay. All right. Listen, would you want your father, your husband, your brother, your nephew, your son to lay his life on the line for a woman that doesn't even respect him as a human being? Bro, they told me motherfuckers was out here talking about abort the babies if once you get in after the ultrasound within the last couple of days. Are y'all shitting me right now, bro? We out here talking about abort, get the ultrasound and kill the boys. For real, a whole bunch of black women and cheering and howling and all this other shit. And black men would never pull some shit like that, man. Or kill the girls, man. If you see us, like, bro, what the fuck? That's dumb. And that just shows you, bro, the level of fucking vitriol and just downright hatred, bro. These bitches are sick. Bitch, do you know what you can't have? Let me direct you to China. Bitch, when you have a fucking imbalance of fucking man to woman ratio, you literally fuck yourself over from a reproductivity aspect. Okay, it should always be more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn. Listen, it should always be more females than men. But again, if you don't have enough men to impregnate the females that are there, that's going to be even more detrimental. But you know what? What did they just do, y'all? What did they just do? Shout out to Cortez, man. They're saying abort the protectors. Well, they don't see them as protectors. They don't see black men as protectors. They see black men as a threat, man. They see black men as someone that they see us as the people that are here, especially now that you have the black manosphere and other masculinity minded movements stepping up and speaking our mind. This is the first time black women have been threatened. Okay, not from a physical or safety standpoint or violence or anything like that, but as far as us having a platform and being able to speak our mind, say what we have to say, okay, intellectually, stats, data, all those things support it, not just anecdotal, but historical context, all these different things we're able to do, man. All right, to prove what we're saying. This is not made up. It's not. It's not made up. And now that we have the platform, we're able to speak this. What do? They go to the emotional route because now it's like, well, what do we do? What the hell we get? They telling the truth. We can't let them niggas tell the truth. And again, man, this isn't even at this point. Like I said, bro, there's no war here, really. Even though I understand and I agree with Sister George to a point. Listen, man, this is all but over. Okay, all but over, man. I told you guys, I'm no longer in the realm of coming together and fixing this or any of these things or whatnot, what have you. For those that will, let them. Okay, for those that won't, hey man, it is what it is. You shouldn't be trying to convince. Look, bro, my guy, my nigga, little homie, big fella, little fella, fam, folk, whatever your greeting is to another black man, bro. Listen, don't convince no bitch to fuck with you, dog. Don't do it. All right? Don't convince her. Either she with you or she ain't. Okay? And the first sign she get it, she ain't, nigga, hey, it's another one out there waiting. And again, we to the point now, like I said, I'm not for I'm not a proponent, of divesting or going to look for another race of woman or none of that shit. But by all means, man, like I said, this is 2021, sir, and I am all for heterosexual relationships. Okay, any black man that wants to deal with any biological woman, pop the champagne, blow the fireworks. I'm for it, bro. This shit is too scary for us to be discouraging again. Discouraging any man from heterosexual activity at this point, bro. Any kids you have, my guy, gonna be black. All right, especially you motherfucking dark as me, my nigga. Hey, again, you better ask Steve Nash. Okay, there's some shit you ain't gonna be able to hide. I don't give a fuck. Mixed and this and that, other blah blah blah. Hey, the society sees him as black. Okay, and you as a father, if you're a black man, you're gonna teach them. You know what I'm saying? You of what they're going to be. Shout out to probably Thought in the building, man. Shout out to him. But yeah, man, the whole aspect of what we have going here to where this double standard deadbeat dynamic is just that. This father had the conversation with his child, and it's a thing that went viral, and it's something that happens more often than not that no one talks about. And unfortunately, like you said, when you have the polar opposite of Keisha Cole's mother or LeBron James' mother or plenty of other mothers out here that are the biggest threat and detriment to their own children, they're praised, by the children first, and then society falls in tow because they don't want to be offensive. They don't want to be the person, what about the past and this and the other. And it's just funny to me, man. Again, the father that for whatever reason, whether he was too young, he didn't have the financial stability or ability, or he just didn't care. He wasn't mature enough at the time or whatnot, what have you. And whenever he comes back and he shows up and he wants to be there, there's all these questions. Well, where were you? And this, that, and the other, and la la la. And then, well, whoa. Ain't she a junkie? Ain't this bitch over here? Did she give her kids up? Y'all ask her all these questions? Huh? Where's society doing that for the mother? Where's the fucking, again, this is why I say, man, women don't want, women don't want exception. They want exception. Okay. All right. They don't want to be accepted. They want exception. All right. They want to have all the fucking benefits, all the pros, none of the cons. Okay. None of the liability. And when you, have that understanding, man, as a man, it's discouraging as fuck, for one, unfortunately, extremely discouraging, but at the same time, you have to have that understanding, man. You have to have that understanding and move in that frame, so many brothers out here every day, bro, go through the, do I want to do this anymore? Is it worth it? The tears of a father, right, are just something that goes unheard, because usually it's some shit you got to do by yourself, because no one is going to care. It's not going to be respected. And outside of like a therapist or some professional, you would never be able to sit down with somebody other than another father going through it and explain it to them, and they understand or care. And then at the same time, like you said, it's man cold, bro. So again, unless it's like you're someone that's incredibly close to you, like a brother or a father or uncle or someone like that, it's highly unlikely you're going to even have the ability to do that, And there's been plenty of brothers, like you said. Shout out to Cortez that said it earlier. Man, brothers contemplate some of the worst things, man. And the thing about it is, like you said, I know in New York, there's been these rash of killings where these mothers are jumping out of these high-rise buildings with their children or throwing their children out of windows and things like that. And again, society just, it's so sad, it's so this, it's so that. I wonder what's wrong with her. And everybody still, even when the mother kills her children, bro, she sympathizes with, So again, man, as a man, you got to understand what you're dealing with, bro. And again, first and foremost, be careful where you lay your nut, bro. Again, bro, you can't be out here putting your cashews, almonds, and pecans in every squirrel, my guy. Okay, can't be doing that. Can't be giving the bitch the trail mix, guy. Okay, can't be doing that, fam. All right, because you know, a fool is a fool. Is always gonna be a fucking fool, dog. And she, more likely than not, the bitch you don't want, the main bitch you don't want to keep that kid, bro, is gonna be the first one to keep it, nigga. All right, pom poms, banners, and and everything else to go with it. But we got my man Jason in the building. Bro. What's going on with you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. What's up?
Yeah, I had my father in my life a little late, you know, but it wasn't that bad because my father was I didn't know how good he was, but like until I met him. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, he was a crackhead. He ain't never did the drugs around me, but my mother told me he was a crackhead and he got on drugs. So I spoke to my father about it. And my father said, no, I didn't force your mother to do drugs. She just wanted to hang out with me. When I told her to stay home with the kids, she wanted to come out with me and my boys. So she followed me and she wanted to try it, you know? So when my father told me the story, he said, but I still take accountability because if I had stayed in the home, you know, came home from work and just, you know, been around your mother, you know, maybe if I wasn't doing drugs, would have been better off for myself. But that was just one thing. Now she shared 5 kids with my father. I was the only one that was logical to say, you know what, my father's trying to be in my life. Let him just be here. Now, you know that girl that you just put on screen disrespecting her father? Fantastic. You know that girl you just had?
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you. My it's funny. See, I always called my father dad. I never disrespected him like that. But when he came back home, he expected to be called dad because he was a traditional man. He didn't want to be called anything else by his kids. So some of the kids that he left were younger. So my brother calling him James Johnson. And when he called him James Johnson, he popped his ass right in the chest with his hands. And then he said, what you call me? He said, James Johnson. He kept popping him. You know, and then my mother came in and said, oh, you just don't get no daddy treatment when you just come back in their life and stuff. My father's like, well, that's disrespectful. I'd rather not call me anything if they're not going to call me dad. Then my twin brother, now I ain't feel no remorse for him because the same way he left my life, he left his life. But my twin brother was the mama's boy. So he would like buy into all the shit that my mother and my father went through in their relationship. Me, I took it as that's not that he didn't do that to me. You know, whatever he did to my mother, that's their relationship. So I just stayed out of it, and I was just glad to have a father in my life. And then as I grew to see my father more in my life, I started to see that my father was more of a father than my mother ever really been a mother. Because my mother was a mother, but you know, she would like to go shopping with her sisters, come back with toys and shit. Like that's supposed to make up for all the time that she been out the house. You know what I'm saying? So then my father came around more often, and he started being around every day. So I'm like, wait a minute, you know, my father's not all that bad. So this is when I really seen how my mother was. The grandchildren. Do you know that my father been to every birthday of all his grandchildren, and my mother was not there? She wouldn't give a fuck about the grandkids. My father would be around his grandkids, spending unconditional time around them, playing with them. He traveled all the way to Pennsylvania to see the other ones. He'd stay out there as long as he could. Even if they didn't ask him to come, he'd still come. But, you know, my brothers and sisters, you know, they didn't value that. So my father had died in 2015, and my brothers and sisters was hurt because, you know, they were being so envious of the man and using the man as a babysitter, and they didn't get to see what I saw. They didn't get to see this great man. You know, they was just looking at the drug part and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was for my father because, you know, fantastic. When you need somebody to talk to, you know, when you go to your mother, you want your mother to be able to elaborate with you, not change the conversation back to herself. But my mother had a hard time, you know, communicating with me about my feelings about what
Yeah,
I wanted to talk about.
yeah. Let me hop in there real quick. Let me hop in there real quick. I'm glad you said that. Listen, I had that same issue. I'm gonna have to meet you up, bro. You got feedback whenever I say something. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Let me mute you up. Yeah, you got your little crack. No, hey, I'm gonna mute you because you're crackling. Yeah, all right. So I had that same issue with my mom, man. To where, you know, the times I would you know, call her to talk about, you know, whatever someone was bothering me personally, to where, you know, and my mom's super duper religious, bro, super duper, you know, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. Yes, God is good all the time, all the time. God, again, man, trust me, bro. Again, there was a point in time where I was like, man, I was like, you fuck God, niggas, okay? The Lord forgive me. He know we back good. But hey, man, I was so much church, nigga. I was churched out, and not just church, nigga. The Bible, the communion crackers, nigga, the crackers and the wafers. Okay. The only thing I was keeping was the grape juice, nigga. That grape juice, hey. But seriously, you know, it got to a point of where, you know, I would call my mom to have conversations, and yeah, man, she would get on the religious tip. And, you know, I let it happen. I think, you know, and this is why I say, you know, our past and sympathy and the things and the leeway we give our moms, right? Because they're our moms. You don't want to hurt her feelings. You had this bond, all these things and whatnot, what have you, you know. And I let her do it until just one day it was something that was, you know, and it was concerning my kids, you know, the situation going on with this. And I was like, Mom, can you just be my mom, man? Like, you know, I was like, look, I understand what you're saying about the Bible, about God, all this other shit. I know God. I talk to him, okay? Like, if I want to hear what God got to say, again, you don't know. You wasn't there. You don't know when, you don't know where. You don't know what the Lord told me, okay? So I can talk to him. I don't want to talk to him right now. I'm talking to you, my mama. Can you just be my mom, okay? And listen to me. And talk and let me have this conversation. And you know what she did? And again, man, brothers, this is why I tell you, two of the biggest moments me and my mom had was the time where pretty much I stood up and you know, established my manhood with her. And I told y'all I got kicked out of the house, so like, you know, I couldn't come to her house. We didn't talk for like 2 months, you know, and you know, and then the conversation I'm talking about right now as to where, you know, I had to communicate to her. It's like, look, you know, I understand you're your own individual and, you know, you have your philosophy, you have your things, but yet and still, like how you tell me, you know, you gonna always be my baby and all this stuff. Well, hey, treat me like your baby. All right. So if I'm your baby, that means you my mama. So I don't need you to be my preacher. I don't need you to be my pastor. I don't need you to be my God translator. I need you to be my mama. Okay. I'm having an issue and a problem that I need to discuss with you and only you. You're the only person I feel like I can talk to about this. So can we just talk and you not hit me with the, you know, the religious motherfucking theological, you know, version of this. I don't need you to know. Okay. I can pray my own prayers, mama. I just need you to talk to me about the situation. And you know, she apologized and she listened, you know, and we kind of had a little time, man. We kind of had a time. Yeah, man. See, look. Hey, man, you can't be. No, I'm not Catholic. No, I like the grape juice, man. You know, you had the communion like at the. So hold on, man. I don't know if y'all know. So you got down south. You got Baptist, of course, CME and AME. CME is Christian Methodist Episcopal. AME is African Methodist Episcopal. And I'll just leave it at that. So whenever you had the communion was like every, like, I just like what, fourth Sunday or third Sunday or some weird, whatever it was. I don't know what the schedule is. Any clergy in the congregation, could you give us a little, or somebody that's, the church expert, let us know when the communion was. Whatever communion was, they would come around with the it was two kinds of crackers. All right, you had like the little crackers, like the little squares, and he would smash it. Would treat this as my body, and he crushed the little cracker, or he had the wafer, and he would snap the little wafer, and the wafers was white, and you just had like that Welch's grape juice, man. You had the Welch's grape juice. You know what I'm saying? And that Welch's grape juice, bro. I don't know that communion. Hey, we put in that communion cup, boy. That thing, hey, I tell you, good. It's something about it, man. Hey, y'all. I know y'all hate God, niggas. You go buy you a. Go buy you a little communion glass, goddammit, okay? And pour that grape juice in that communion glass and see how much better it tastes, okay? You ain't got to, I know y'all hate God, so you ain't got to pray over it. You ain't got to do no thing, okay? But not a shot glass now, but you got to have a little communion glass. All right, go buy that communion glass and put that that Welch's grape juice in there, nigga. And I'm telling you, man, it change your life. It's just, I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know. But yeah, man, that was the whole thing with that. So, I had the conversation with her, and she made that adjustment, man. So one big thing you do have to do, man, as a man, and of course, respect your mom, respect your dad, all those different things, by all means, if it's warranted. If your mom's a big piece of shit, man, and this and the other, by all means, bro. Hey, love her from a distance, cut her off. Same thing with your father, but
you don't
go ahead.
Owe your mother. And let me tell you guys, you don't owe your mother for being born. We got to get that out of our system. You don't owe your mother for being born. You don't owe her for that. She already paid the hospital bills, or the city already paid the hospital bills. She's covered. You don't owe her for being here. She brought you here. You didn't ask to be here. If anything, she was selfish because she knew she grew up fucked up and poor and tormented and went through pain and abuse, but she's going to be willing to bring you through that pain and suffering. And just thank God that some of you brothers made it through with the single mother in the household and all that other shit. But you don't need to be paying your mother, bringing you in a fucked up situation. You gotta think about some of these mothers that, especially, I know I can talk for myself. My mother wasn't straight when she had me. She didn't have a roof over her head and none of that shit. She know how that shit felt when her mother did that to her. But she gonna be selfish and have me in a fucked up world. And now I gotta find out how to navigate this motherfucker. I mean, if I'm wrong, fantastic, tell me to stop.
No, man. Again, like you
They
said,
are selfish. They're so fucking selfish. They're so selfish. They'll walk around looking nasty and pregnant with nothing, with no fucking plan, but got the nerve to be fucking sitting up there pregnant, waiting for the state to give them some money to take care of some fucking kids. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, and like I said, man, that's due to again the unfortunate. That's due to the unfortunate programming and system that they are encouraged to take advantage of, man. You know what I mean? Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. It doesn't matter how much you bums try to rewrite history because you're embarrassed of your treasonous behavior. Everybody knows the truth that a lot of these black men abandon their children. Yin and Yang, man, hit the link, and make you guys don't block her, okay? But Yin and Yang, I remember you from a while back. Why don't you hit that link? I just pinned the link. So how about you hit the link and come up? Of course, but I highly doubt you will. Snuggles, what do you mean by come to Jesus moment? You just mean, I don't know, just elaborate. Nah, that sugar and spice shit and everything nice. That's a part of the reason. That's part of the problem there, Snuggles. Again, man, I heard the first time I heard this, okay, was a black woman that said this when I told the story about how my children came about and all these different things and pretty much how, my semen was stolen. And she said, nigga, that's your dumb ass fault for trusting a bitch. Okay. Again, y'all, black woman told me this. And all I could do was agree. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You are exactly right. But hindsight is 2020, motherfucker. So again, you young fellas out here, bro, y'all the reason we do this shit to let you know, bro. Okay, bro. You again, it's as much as people chase a check, never chase a bitch, man. Don't trust. You can't. It's sad, and this is another big thing we talk about. We don't, bro. It's a sad state of affairs, bro. When again, I know, again, this isn't exclusive to black women, but the thing is not the exclusivity. It's the occurrence rate of it. It's the recency. It's the commonality of it, to where everything's elevated with this whole finesse, get over, trick, all these things when it comes to the interactions and the social dynamic between the black man and the black woman. Unfortunately, it's just so fucking, bruh, it's so lopsided. So when you have that understanding, bruh, to where you can't trust the women that look like you, how is your demographic, your race, your group going to make it if and when everybody's operating from this, over my shoulder, what am I gonna do? Just perspective and energy. Jason, you go ahead, bro, if you got something.
Yeah, man. I do love my mother. I'm not saying I don't. She had 10 kids, and she made 7 boys, no jail, no criminal record, no, none of them gay, they all work, they all got jobs, they all successful. I can commend her for that, but goddamn, they don't owe her nothing. My brother that's a doctor, he don't owe her shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't pay for them books. If he didn't get a scholarship, he probably would have had it hard getting through college. To get his doctor. But the whole thing is, what I'm trying to say is that we need to know, us as men need to, if we don't stand up to that woman that brought us in the world, we ain't ready to stand up to no woman
right.
out.
Hey, that's the main point, Jason. Damn, bro, you got that goddamn, I don't know what the hell going on when we start talking. But hey, that's a great point, brother. Again, if you can't stand up to the woman that brought you into the world, man, you can't stand up to your mom. It's gonna be extremely difficult to stand up to any other woman, bro. So again, that's why I tell you guys, bro, it's gonna be uncomfortable as fuck. You may sacrifice a time, a relationship and interaction with your mom, but it's more than worth it, bro, because it gives you a totally different frame in dealing with women. Because you can tell your mama no, you can tell any bitch no. All right, you can tell your mama no, you can tell any bitch no. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And shout out to Mahogany. What's your roots? Well, Mahogany. I don't know. Again, a black woman told me this. I forget which one it was, but unfortunately, you can't, man. And we're getting further. We're getting worse and worse. Again, these women out here are targeting men just to have children. And another big thing too, I told you guys. So I'm not gonna say no names on this, but there's this woman, okay, this female I follow on Facebook. She used to be a YouTuber, okay, and I saw her run the New Hustle. I saw her run the get married, have a baby, get divorced, hustle. So I didn't have a child out of wedlock. I'm a divorcee. Okay, I'm not a baby mama, but I came in through all the intentions of, getting this child and getting the fuck on and skeeting and skedaddle. So I can't say that, I had my child out of wedlock. Had no intentions and knew it. And like I said, I was on the outside looking in, bro. She was younger. I think we were somewhere around the same age. The dude was much older. She's extremely masculine energy. Okay, she's a debater. She likes to argue. She's headstrong, extremely opinionated, things like this. And this dude, man, I saw him. He was a simp. He was just a simp, man, an old simp. They ran into each other, and her trying a new type of occupation or whatnot, what have you, and just knew the shit wasn't gonna last. And like I said, man, she got up out of there to I don't even think it lasted maybe 2 years. Had the baby, got pregnant or whatever. Cute little kid, of course. She's moderately attractive or whatnot. She get back out here in the street and she's talking about how using all these fucking car analogies and you gotta pay for this and pay for that and pay in this and I'm worth it and I'm this and I'm that. I'm like, huh? And at first I was actually interacting with the shit because I'm like, yo, you hear yourself? Like, bro, you got married to this dude. You're not even fully like divorced yet. I don't think you're not even fully out of divorce. And you're out here, trying to get chose by the next dude with this pussy, like for real, and talking about using your fucking your pussy as a fucking like car lot analogy. Like come on, shawty, you still in your late 40s, and now in your late 30s, and you just had a kid with an old nigga. Like, bro, ain't nobody taking you serious. You talking about, bitch, you talking about a car lot, but bitch, you forgot to say used. you not even pre-owned, bitch. You're not certified pre-owned. You are used, ma'am. And I'm looking at this shit, and now, bro, she living her best life. She got a second motherfucking, pretty much second childhood going on as a mom now with a kid. And she taking trips and shit. Mind you, mom with a kid. This kid can't be no more than like 2-3 years old. It's like a toddler, and yet still you running around, on social media. You know what I'm saying? Kidless. Where's your kid at? Why? Where were you? You supposed to be being a mother right now, but she didn't give a fuck about the fucking being a mother, bro. She want to have her fun. She want a motherfucker be a teenager again. She want these niggas to pretty much afford her taking trips and getting flued out and running that dick up in her. And it's like, bruh, what the fuck? But that's mahogany. That's the era we live in. That's the era we live in. You can't trust none of these. You can't even trust these quote unquote wives out here, man. These bitches, everybody's here to get something, bro, and to get over. And that's this finessing culture, and this fucking just conniving bullshit that niggas got going on, bro. I done seen it, dog. I done seen it. Females even out here in the midst of trying to get married. Again, they get married to just so they can get the little oh shit, let me see what the hell this is. What is this? Okay. All right.
They want the income tax. They want the earned income. They want the Section 8. They want the food stamps. They want everything.
Yeah, man. But we got the brother. Let's talk truth too. What's going on, fam?
How you doing? How y'all doing?
I can't complain, man. What's up with you?
Man, I was sitting here watching and listening. I'm in a situation where 14 years ago, a baby mama called me to come and pick up my daughter to check on watch my daughter while she going to interview. While I'm sitting in the backyard, a police come around the corner. Black police with his gun in my face. My son sitting in my lap. This black police, thank God I saved the text message that she sent asking me to come. Thank God this black police was not a bad cop, and he had a lot of God in his life. And he asked me, what you doing here? We got a call, you're not supposed to be here.
Wow.
And so he walks over to the balcony door and he talks to the baby mama. He comes back and he's saying, well, she says she don't know nothing about you being here. So I did this. I read him my phone. I said, here, sir. He looked in the text message and he's saying, well, just not even an hour and a half ago, she just texted me and asked me to come. While he's talking to me and I done gave him my ID and my son sitting in my lap, a white police come around the corner with his gun in my face, pointing at me and my son. The black police say to the white cop, what you doing? Put your gun down. Because the white police talking about, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands while everything is peaceful and calm. The black police got my ID. We just talking. My son sitting in my lap. He look at the black cop look at the white cop and say, hey man, put your gun down. And what you doing here? I didn't call for backup. The white cop saying, well, I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. He put his gun down. The black cop look at the text message. He walks back over to the balcony door and he say whatever he say to her. I done come all the way across town on a bus, on a bus from one side of the city to the other side of the city. The black police walks me to the front and he say, where you come from? Where you coming from? I tell him where I'm coming from. He said, I'm gonna pat you down. You don't have any weapons on you, nothing. I said, no, sir. He said, I'm gonna pat you down. And I want you to, I'm gonna put you in the back seat and I'm gonna give you a ride to the park and ride bus station. He said, but I want to say something to you. He said, I looked at your record and you done turned over a whole new leaf and you're doing good. He said, I want to say something to you. He said, don't ever come back around her without a witness. She's trying to ruin you. And I ain't seen her since then. Right now, I'm waiting on the police report of that 14 years ago. Because not only these mothers is doing this, but they trying to make the dad look like the absent father and the deadbeat. You know, the system is set up to where they don't want the black man in the house with the black woman and the black child. That's how the government system is set up due to Section 8 and all that. So if a black man ain't successful and everything, and he has to deal with the government, or the black woman got to deal with the government, it's going to be hard for the black father to deal with the black woman and the black child while dealing with the government at the same time. I haven't seen my kids in 3 years. These women, I'm noticing at age 48, speaking from experience, these women, there's another form of child abuse going on. Whereas my son will come to me and say, Mama said this about you. Mama said that about you. And I have to catch myself. And I look down at the child and say, well, I don't know why Mama said this or why she said that, but one day we'll figure it out. Because the kid ain't supposed to be in the middle of all that. That's another form of child abuse to me. That's a child. That's a kid. That child mind can't understand the war that's going on between the mother and the father, the war that the black man has to deal with being a black man in this country. The child is too young to understand all of that. And, you know, I'm in situations where my punishment is you can't see your babies. I'm disabled. I've been receiving disability since for the last 14 years now. So when you're on disability now, because the black woman, when the government set up the child support for the black woman disrespected the government. They didn't follow the government rules and regulations. So the government ain't too concerned about the black woman as much as they once was when it comes to child support and the laws that follow. So because of my disability, I'm receiving funds from the government due to disability. The black woman is receiving funds from the government due to Section 8 and the handouts that the government give. So the government in court is not, as long as you got your paperwork like I had mine. There was many men in my child support cases. There was many men that came before me, but they didn't have their ducks in a row. They didn't have their T's crossed or their I's dotted, meaning they didn't have their paperwork. But I had all my paperwork. So when the judge called my name, I didn't give it to her the way she wanted it. I just walked up to her desk and just dumped it all out on her desk. And she told all of them other men that came before me, had y'all have brought your paperwork the way he brought his paperwork, I could have worked with you. So she asked the black woman, there's laws. She told the black woman there's laws, and I have to ask you these questions. Even though I have to ask you these questions, don't mean I'm gonna grant you what you asking for. But by law, I gotta ask you these questions anyway. And then the question she was asking the black woman, how did she feel about, you know, the fact that the judge say you only gonna get $50 a month? Because this is the government. I can't take money from the government. Ain't gonna take money from the government and give to a woman who receiving funds from the government. I don't know how these other black men is dealing with these situations, but I have kids, and because of my disability, child support can't touch me. But despite the child support can't touch me, I man up, I father up. And I got with them kids that I had women with and had my first payments. They didn't even have to go to no government. I was willing to be a man and father up and man up and take care of my kids. We don't got to go through them systems and through all of that. I'm a different kind of man. I watched the many men that came before me jump through these loops. I watched them kill themselves because they couldn't see their kids. Oh, he couldn't see his kids, so he committed suicide. I'm from a different era. I don't jump through them loops. And the black woman can't do to me what the black woman been doing to the black man for all these years. So the government ain't gonna take money from me and give back to the black woman because the government already giving the black woman government. Plus the judge told him the little money that he's getting, ain't nowhere in the world will take that and give it to you because he's barely getting what he's getting. So, you know, you got to think about it. The government set up these laws and these rules for the black woman, but the black woman failed. Some of these black women went into Section 8 into the government and they made it a home. They didn't use the government as a stepping stone to do better and become their own landlord or get on their feet. They go into these Section 8s and these governments and they just live up on them and they just lay up under them. So we got black men in this world running around living in the house with a black woman and he think he the man of that house. That's a Section 8 and ran by the government. That black man is not the man of that house. The government is the man of that house. He the baby daddy. The black man ain't the baby. He may be the baby daddy of them kids, but the government own all of that. The government is running that. And these women, we got some women, and the men is doing the same thing. I didn't come over here to target women. I didn't come over here to just attack the women just because I'm in a situation where these baby mamas is attacking me and they shouldn't have to. Because we got men that's putting themselves in situations to where they not taking care of business. They ain't doing what they supposed to do. So it ain't all the black woman's fault. It's the black man and the black woman's fault. The black woman say that my child don't need no baby daddy. Well, you're right. The child don't need a baby daddy, and they don't need a baby mama either. That child need a mother and a father. That child need a husband and a wife in his life. You ask me what is mental health. You ask me what is crazy. Mental health and crazy is not having a mother and a father. Mental health and crazy is growing up without the black woman and the black mother and having that black structure that the black child and the black parent is supposed to be behaving like. You see, these black kids is raising themselves these days because the black woman and the black man is so caught up into the system and caught up into the world and got into a big old rush. So if you ask me what is crazy in mental health is this black child growing up a fatherless child and a motherless child. So the black man and the black woman is at fault. We don't need baby daddies. We don't need baby mamas. We need black husbands and black wives. And to you black men and you black women out there, you in a relationship with a black man and a black woman. You was already a husband before you got with that black woman. You was already a wife before you got with that black man. Play your part. You're already a husband. But you got to put in work in order to earn that life. And some of these black men and black women having kids, but they don't got no skills to be a mother, to be a father. Because to be a mother and a father, that's a big responsibility. And now we got this pandemic that came along, AKA plandemic. It's sad, and it's a beautiful topic. So it's a blessing to look on YouTube and see you having a topic like this, because this is a serious topic. And this evil that we speaking of done got so out of control that the prisons are full of black kids now. Once upon a time, it was just black. The black man was in the prison. There wasn't no whole lot of black women prisons, and there wasn't no whole lot of black children prisons. It was just the black man and male prisons. Now, due to the high volume and due to this topic, we got all of these women prisons being built. We got all of these little children prisons being built. We got all of this beautiful talent. We born with gifts, but those gifts and those talents are incarcerated now. The children prisons are full of kids with talents and gifts. I done been incarcerated before. So I done seen Michael Jordans and Mike Tyson's incarcerated. The same talent and gifts that I see out here in the world, they got that locked up now. This is sad. This is ugly. And I ain't seen my kids in 3 years. I haven't seen my babies in 3 years. And these days, the black woman is punishing the kids. They don't know the kid is suffering the most. I ain't seen my babies in 3 years. And this black woman is putting all this stuff in this kid mind. As I speak, I'm waiting on the police report to come right now. I don't walk around with the police report. I was too busy moving on, but now I had to send for the police report. So if you come back on again, I'm gonna come back and check with you to let you know I got the police report now. And the story I just shared with you, I have it in black and white right now. I done even been stabbed up 8. I done been stabbed up 8 times, brother. I've been in a situation where I was with a black woman and her secrets got her stabbed 2 times. Got me stabbed 8 times. The man snuck in the house. That black woman played with that man's heart. He had been in the army for 15 years. He was in love with the black woman, but the black woman played with his heart. The man came home from the army on the weekend leave. Stabbed me 8 times. Stabbed the black woman 2 times. 4 kids in the house. And I didn't even see this coming to me. I didn't even know this was going to come to me. You know, I'm not a victim of that. I'm a survivor. You know, this is not a game. This gets deeper. And I don't want to do a whole bunch of talking because I know somebody else probably got something to say. So I'm gonna be like what God say. Peace, man. Be still.
Appreciate you, brother. Very, very powerful, man. Yeah, that's definitely a lesson learned.
Can he stay up just for a second? I'll wait.
Go ahead. Yeah, you kind of borging a little bit.
I'll wait my turn, but I was wondering if he could stay up just for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just going downstairs. I'm going into my garage, so you probably can't see me right now. But I'm going to turn this light on. I want to show y'all something. Got that right here. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Mahogany, yeah, it's on you. Whatever question you want to ask, go ahead.
Yeah, somebody go and ask some questions.
I'm gonna switch devices because it's this laptop. I'm gonna switch and I'll be right back.
Okay,
Mr. Fantastic.
Cool. All right. So RBR, oh man, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for the truth?
Of course not. They're coons. But anyway, well, I have 2 observations. One, the brother's right. We do need the black man and the black woman in the home. Number 2, we have to stop thinking because society hates black men that we have to succumb to the hatred that society has for black men. If the problem is the government and who makes the laws, then we, the people, choose the government. We choose the laws. And one of the problems that we've been having is because we believe that the government is constant and that white people are superior, and we want to put these Nazis who want to kill us, who hate black men, in charge of our governments. What do you think they're going to do? Who do you think they're going to target? Who do you think they're going to incarcerate, kill, murder? They're going after the black men. So we have to stop being stupid. The black women are not going to run to these Nazis and put Trump and them in power. We as black people have to vote the Nazis out. And we're not doing it enough. We always let them come back in. All they got to do is start a lie about LGBT and some bullshit. And here come these niggas want to put Trump and Bernie in office.
That's right.
So we decide who governs us.
That's
and we
right.
need to stop putting in people in charge of our lives who want to kill us, who hate us because we're black.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's where the black man messed up at, because every time we get something going, we feel like we got to have another race involved in it. When we need to start standing together, we don't have to have another race involved in it. Everything that I just shared with you, this is the knife that I was stabbed with. This is the knife that I was stabbed with behind a black woman and her secrets. This is the discovery. This is the paperwork to the story that happened to me in 1994. And what that brother just said, the most powerful thing that I received from what he said is black people always trying to bring somebody else into our tribe. Black people always trying to bring somebody else into our empire. We don't have to have no other race in our empire. Before that, we still got black people over there in Africa that ain't never seen a white man before. We still got black people over there in Africa that don't even know what a white man looked like.
Yeah, let me hop in here real quick, big fella, brother. Let me hop in real quick. Let me do this super chat for me real quick, and then I got a huge question for you, brother. Shout out to Carter for the 10, man. Powerful live stream tonight, gentlemen. Greatly appreciate you, brother. So I'm kind of curious, man. Okay, how did you maintain the weapon that you were stabbed with, brother? Like all this time ago, like what? I'm kind of confused.
Well, actually, brother, I'm a motivational speaker here in my city. That's actually not the identical weapon that I was stabbed with, but that's the same weapon that was made. That's the identical weapon from the weapon that was made. That's a copy of the weapon.
Okay, cool.
That's not the identical weapon. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When he stabbed me, when he was stabbing me, he had a hard time. You see, I was raised in the streets. So he had a hard time. I've been stabbed and I've been shot. I got a 21-year-old bullet sent between my lung and my heart. I'm 48 years old, speaking from experience. So when he stabbed me, there was a time where I done knocked him unconscious. I mean, that Rambo knife went all the way through my thigh. I fought. I'm a fighter. I'm a street fighter and a boxer. So he had to work for all of that. So when he stabbed me, I left him unconscious. And I was about to grab that knife, and that was gonna be self-defense because there's 4 kids in the house. And he done snuck in the house and stabbed the woman 3 times, and he done stabbed me 8 times, and he done sprayed mace in my eyes. I had knocked him unconscious. I was trying to find the knife to kill him. But there was a voice in my head telling me if I didn't hurry up and get to some safety, that time that I was using to kill him was gonna be the time, all the time I had to save my very own life. So I followed that voice, and I just left him unconscious. I couldn't find the knife anyway. He unconscious laying up under me. And I couldn't find that knife. This woman had secrets. And mind you, she couldn't have no more kids. And I had no kids at the time. I was a good black man with a good heart. I made a tough decision. I was even trying to marry this woman. My heart was too good. I ain't have no kids. And she couldn't have no more kids. And if I marry her, then her 4 kids become my babies, and I can't have no kids as long as I'm married to this woman. And I was gonna take that, because I cared about that woman, but I was young. She was a little older than me. I was 22 at the time, and she was 29. So it's not, so I didn't. There was a lot that I didn't know.
Yeah, let me hop in there real quick, brother. I'm glad you said that. Again, that was a similar situation I was in, man. Listen, young fellas, you're not prepared. Okay, do not. I would suggest, especially you, before the age of 25, don't deal with any woman older than you, especially when you're talking three and more plus years older than you. You're not prepared, bro.
He's right.
Yeah, and if she already has kids. If she already has kids, bro, those kids are, and especially if you're a good dude, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they can smell it. Okay, they can smell the kind heart. They can smell, the guy that were willing to be that stepfather, that stand-in simp. They can smell it, bro, and they're setting you up for failure. And again, this brother almost lost his life, man, over a woman that's playing, who knows how many. So that's of course. There's always an exception to the rule, brother. But again, man, before you even think about it, man, don't get seriously involved with a woman that got years on you, bro. Especially years and kids. But at the that pussy powerful, okay? That's some powerful pussy, all right? And no matter how.
Let me get in on there. This wasn't about sex. This was about me being a 22-year-old and didn't have that father in my house. My dad was there, but he wasn't there for me. The 2 brothers that God put in my life was there, but they wasn't there for me. This wasn't about sex. This was about me being a man and a mature man and growing up. And this young black man who I was at the age of 22 was having to raise himself, self-teaching himself. So I wasn't in it for sex. You got to understand. Let me tell you something. My mother and father been together for 50-some years, and they still
but all
together
due respect,
now.
brother. I was just real quick. All due respect, brother. Were you guys in a platonic relationship?
A platonic. Help me to understand that word you just used.
What platonic means? Just to a man and woman relationship with no sex involved.
No, we was in a relationship where there was sex involved. But let me say something before you cut me off. Let me say something. Like I said, I grew up around people who had been in long-term relationships. My parents are still together to this day for 50-some years. I got family members and people around me been together for 20, 30, 40, and 50-some years, brother. So this wasn't about sex. That was the one thing that I did have that they gave me. It was one of the many things when you don't have that outstanding guidance. See, what we talking about, the black man was there, but he wasn't there for me. So my father wasn't there to give me all of this education you trying to give me that I already got right now. See, I needed you in my life back then. I needed my father, my dad in my life to tell me, and my brothers and all of the elderlies to tell me all of that back then. So we ain't gonna always say everything is about sex. This comes from the black man and the black woman not giving the black child what the black child's supposed to get when he's coming from the womb. This ain't about sex. I wasn't a tender dick. I was a young man who grew up around people who had been together for 50 years, and that's what I wanted. So let's get that understood. And I wasn't a male Jezebel. I wasn't a hoe. The only thing that's messed up is the fact I just didn't have that outstanding guidance that you trying to give me, and you just shared with the people. I wish I'd have known you when back then. I wish I'd have met you at 22 and had you in my life to say to me what you said to me back then. But one thing I did have was common sense. I called my mother to tell my mother, Mama, something ain't right. My baby sister and my mama got to arguing. I said, Mama, will you come get me? Because something ain't right. And I don't have no way to get to you. I don't have no transportation or nothing like that. So will you come get me? But my mom everybody was like, you're doing good. You're working. You're getting paid. You're making a good check every week. You're bringing home a good check every week, son. You're doing good. Maybe you you jumping the gun. Maybe things ain't what you think it is. My baby sister told my mama, let's go get my brother. If he feel like something ain't right, let's go get him. My mother didn't come pick me up. She didn't come get me, and I didn't have no other way to get back to the destination I needed to get to. So that night I got stabbed up. This is my story. This is my testimony. This is my journey. This is my path, not yours. So I can tell you more about what happened to me than you can tell me. But this wasn't about sex. So let's get that understood. This was about one thing, the one thing I did have and I wanted. And that was, and I'm married right now. So that I didn't get then, I'm getting it right now. I got a beautiful wife I've been with for 14 years. I got 3 beautiful babies. So that was my then. This is my now. That was my family. Brother, man, this is my harvest. Okay?
Oh, most definitely, brother.
Yes.
All right, real quick. Let me hop in here. Shout out to Gary Grant for the 5, man. Always coming through supporting, brother. Thank you. Young men without children do not be with any woman with kids. Single mothers are for recreation, not relationship. Big up, youngster, man. You got it. And Mahogany, you back? Are you good now?
I think I am. I had to switch to. Am I good?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, geez. First of all, thank you. I'm not here to raise no feathers or cause no trouble, but I was listening to the brother's story, and the thing of it is, I'm glad that he told this story. It's familiar. Not to myself, but I have brothers along with sisters, so I've heard both sides of it. The thing of it is, I'm glad that he said certain things that he said. I don't know how much I missed. Some of the I want to just address a couple of things because it would take too long to break down everything that he said in his story. But one of the things, it would take 2 hours to break that down. But basically, oh God,
take your time, sister. Take your time. Take your time.
I'm trying to recollect. You walk me through it because I'm going to make sure I'm getting the understanding. So your purpose really is just to share your story, but you're not saying, just watch out for black women, because you do understand my brother, who's been married to 3 times to women of all races, pretty much has been
right, ma'am.
done wrong by all women. I'm just saying he also was in
I didn't come on here to attack women, and I didn't come on here to attack men, but my story gonna be told.
No, I'm glad you told your story. I'm curious, the woman that you're with now, can I ask, not that it matters to me, but can I ask what race she is now? Your lovely wife.
She's a beautiful black woman. We've been together for 14 years.
And I think it's important to tell that part too when you tell your story, because that just goes to show you. Now, when you was up here talking about how you got stabbed up and all the things you were going with the baby mama, and that's another thing, you were referring to her as the baby mama, and the issues you were having with her. She's your child's mother, right?
No, this woman I'm with now was the woman I wish I would have met before I met all other women that I had ever crossed paths with. This woman I'm with now, I've been with her for 14 years. We've been married, and we got 3 beautiful babies, and our marriage is stronger now than it ever was.
Right. So you have a story that's, so you got the good and the bad is my whole point. You're proving my whole point, and it's
yes,
outside. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Like I said before you came on, that was my then. This is my now. That was my family. This is my harvest.
So what's your advice to the men? I'm just curious. What is your advice?
My advice to the men is a lot of what Brother Fantastic said. And then my other advice to the men is, if you got some children out there, you whoever, men or women, get to know your kids, get to know your children, give your children that right outstanding guidance that they're supposed to get, that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding, that education, because a lot of that is what I didn't have. I had the black mother in my life all my life. I had my dad in my life all my life. But like I said before you came on, ma'am, my dad was in my life, but he wasn't there for me. My two older brothers was in my life, but they wasn't there for me. So I was raised by the streets. I was raised by the gangs. I was raised by the prisons. So I had to put all of it, I had to grow. I had to put all of that behind me. I had to man up. I went and got my knowledge, my wisdom, my understanding, and I met some great men like Mr. Fantastic, like he was just sharing with you. If you young brothers and young sisters enjoy your youth and stay within your age group, because like I said, I was 22 years old at the time. She was 29 years old at the time. Had I have known then what I know now, not having that knowledge and that education that I didn't have that I got now, I would have never tried to link up with somebody too older than me. She was faster than me. She was seeing all kind of different men. She knew stuff that I didn't know. I was the loyal type. Now, you remember I said this earlier in the video. I said this earlier. You got to remember I said this. She was fast. She was a lot faster than me. I didn't have that education that I was supposed to have. I grew up without the education I was supposed to have. So naturally, I'm self-teaching myself. I got to raise myself. She was a lot faster than me. So, that, like I say, that was my then. This is my now. That was my family. This is my harvest. I've learned from all of that now. I never, that guy, she went to court on me. And she had him locked up. I didn't go to court. I'm from the streets. I was raised not to testify. I was raised not to, I took that bullet, but I never took the stand. I took that knife 8 times, but I never told on that man. I done made some real tough decisions in my life, and a lot of that taught me how to be a forgiving person too. You know what I'm saying? I have had to put the hurt on some people too. So sometimes karma comes in different forms, shapes, and fashions. And I can't complain. I'm the kind of person, I've had to put some hurt on some people. So if somebody has had to put some hurt on me, I'm not going to run to law enforcement. I'm going to take it like a man. But like I say, that's all behind me now. She was a lot faster than me. She was a lot older than me. I didn't have people like Mr. Fantastic in my life. I didn't have people like R&BR Network in my life to give me that outstanding guidance, that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding, the education that we all need coming into a world like this. So I've been most of my life, I've had to raise myself.
Well, okay. I just wanted you to say that part that you said. And I'm not here to everybody has their story. That's the thing. Everybody has their story, and I can't take from it or add to it. My brother has his own story. But when you were telling your story, he has a similar story, but the race of the woman happened to be a completely different race. My brother is also military too.
Yeah, well, he was in the army. He was in the army for 15 years. And this way before I come in the picture. And while he was in the army for them 15 years, and he was married to that woman, they ended up getting a divorce while he was in the army. While he was in the army, building a career for himself and trying to take care of his family, that woman was cheating on him, seeing different men and playing with his heart, man.
Were you the other man? Is that what happened? So is that what you're saying? You were the other man?
No, I'm the man that got stabbed.
You were messing with the woman. Is that was the situation?
No, I was not messing with the woman. By the time I came in the picture, she had divorced him. Their divorce was final and so far behind them. He just happened to have been a brother who felt betrayed and felt hurt. He was a brother who wasn't over that woman. He was still in love with that woman. And some of the stuff I'm sharing with you now is stuff that I later learned from looking at this discovery that I just showed you. I got the paperwork to my story. I got the discovery to my story. So I didn't know none of this in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it sounds like a situation. Okay.
I'm answering your question.
Excuse me, brother.
She played. Listen to me, Miss.
brother.
She was playing with that man's heart.
You
while
said
the man
that it
was
was over, though. You said it, that they had ended the relationship and that he couldn't get over
Okay,
it.
but there's many people in relationships, but just because the woman said it was over or the man said it was over, sometimes people don't know how to go away. He was still obsessed with that woman.
So it's her fault. Okay, wait a minute. So now it's her fault, even though she was broken up with him. It's her fault that he stabbed you.
Well, she was cheating. The thing, it ain't her fault that he stabbed me. He's responsible and accountable for his actions, but she responsible and accountable for her actions too. Now let's get that understood. I didn't come on here to attack women, but we ain't.
No, I'm saying. So I'm just repeating what you said. You said that he couldn't get over it. Okay.
He wasn't over that woman. He wasn't over her, and he was still in the army. He must have had it in his mind and in his heart to come home and bust her ass. Cause she.
So they were.
Closed
so
there,
they
brother.
were together.
Brother.
So they were together.
You're not listening. They was not together. They divorced, and he wasn't over her. And I know you. Right. I'm 48. I don't know how old you are, but speaking from experience, there's been many relationships where somebody didn't want to deal with the other person, and the other person just didn't know how to go away. They had been divorced for years. It's called revenge. And he came back to get revenge on her. And when he came to get her and deal with the guy that she was dealing with before I came in the picture, that guy was gone and I had met her. What I'm telling you is I got caught up with a Jezebel. She was dealing with all kind of men when I came in the picture that I knew nothing about.
Sir, I want you to listen to what you just said. Please just listen to me for 2 seconds. Okay, well, this is what, sir, please let me, I swear I'm not here to argue. You just said that the relationship was over. But yes, Jason. Yes, Jason.
Taking it the wrong way. Let me tell you what the brother is saying. The brother is simply saying,
I don't want to talk to her no more because she came in too late.
Anything about
No, I've been listening, but go ahead, Jason.
He didn't know anything about her priors. She hit it real good.
There you go. Help her.
I'm telling you,
Somebody
he found out by surprise. He found out about surprise. He thought the husband was done, over and done with. It's been so long. He couldn't imagine that husband would creep up on him. That ex-husband.
There you go.
Right. And Jason, what I'm saying is if yes, sir.
You gotta understand. You can't like right now you're trying to pull something out of something that's not.
What she's trying to do.
No, I'm just asking the simple question. Yes, sir.
No, brother, you're right, brother. Let that brother finish talking and you just listen.
Excuse me?
You're taking it the wrong way.
Oh, hell. Oh.
You're taking it the wrong way because he didn't know anything. This is
hey,
all
Mr. Fantastic 24. This is your channel. This is not my channel. I didn't come on here to be rude. I can go right now, but I'm not going to deal with her.
The history after the
See, that's the problem. A lot of people, you see somebody up here of the opposite sex, and you're trying to make me the enemy. I'm not your enemy, sir. I'm not your enemy, sir. I don't even know you.
You're an enemy to yourself.
Hey, let's hold on. Let's comment. Let's bring it down. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me hop in. Wait. Jason, I got it. Hold on. Let me hop in. Yeah, let me hop in here. Let me hop in. Again, Mahogany just came up to ask questions. Again, if it's a misunderstanding of communications, but what she's trying to do, and of course, in her right, real quick, let me get it. I got it. She's saying that there's balance. Okay, she's trying to bring balance to the situation. Of course, you had a bad situation with
you can't take my story and do what you want to do with it.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm trying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Of course. Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. So she has her point she wants to get across.
I respect that, but this is my story, not her story.
I understand. And no one's. Hold on, brother.
You're not gonna put a twist on my story. Thank you, brother Jason Johnson.
Wait, brother, just real quick. Let me say it's not necessarily her putting a twist on your. Yeah, she's not trying to put a twist on your story, but what she's trying to do. Well, what she's trying to do again is get the good and the bad or the.
Well, she's trying to assess the situation.
Yeah, the both sides of it. So again,
brother, listen. brother, she want to know, did you have a vetting process
Well, no.
prior to all of
Let me hop
this?
in real quick.
That's what she's
Let me just say
basically
this.
doing.
I gotta get ready to shut this thing down anyway because I gotta get
Yeah,
up
I'm
like
about to
5
go.
minutes.
Y'all have a good one, man. I'm out of
Yeah,
here. Thank you, brother
yeah.
Jason Johnson. Thank you,
You got
Mr.
it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. R&B R Network. God bless y'all. Y'all take care of yourself. But sister, you need to do some self-checking. I'm out of here.
No, I didn't do anything to you, sir. You have a good night. Be
Okay.
blessed, honey.
Yeah, you need to do some
Okay.
self-checking.
So yeah, let me Mahogany. So Mahogany, what's I'll just talk it out with you. So
Yes, thank you.
your point is pretty much, I guess, there's good and bad for black women. Because you asked me, so let's go back to the question you asked
Okay.
me. What was the reason for you asking me about, well, who can you trust?
Oh, I was talking to you because you made a comment about basically a black woman told you what she told you about you protecting pretty much your seed, and it was your fault for not protecting your seed. That's what the woman told you, and I was just stating that some women, and I hate when we just narrow things down to race, because anybody can be treacherous, and you have some women that aren't happy and they don't want to see other women happy, and so they give young people bad advice. I've been given bad advice by bitter people, bitter, jealous people. Unfortunately, it's a reoccurring theme in our community where we tend to be hateful towards one another, and we don't want to see each other have thriving relationships. I am not going to talk about that brother because he's not here, but I would like to just say what I was trying to say, so that maybe if he's listening, he can understand what I was trying to say. So what I heard was, and I hope I'm hearing it right, what I heard him say was that at first I could have sworn he said that the lady and the man was broken up, and the man went overseas. He was in the military. The woman had been seeing other people, which she was free to do because she was broken up from her husband or whatever. I don't know. I just
No,
want to
no,
finish,
wait. Yeah,
Jason,
Jason,
please.
Jason, don't
It's
cut
just
off.
gonna take.
Jason. Yeah, Jason,
Okay,
no,
and
go
so
ahead, go ahead.
basically, after she had already been dating, then he started seeing her. The man came home. He was still jealous or whatever, probably still wanting to work things out. Now, what I can assume, I don't know any of these people, is that possibly she was still possibly talking to the man, misleading him to think that they still had something going on, and that's why the man came home and did what he did as far as stabbing them, which does not justify. We always talking about that word accountability. We have to. So what I'm not going to do is blame. She didn't pick up the knife and stab anybody, and that's the thing. I'm not saying it was his fault. I'm not saying it was her fault, but whoever did the stabbing, that's whose fault it really is. So that's all I wanted to say, because so often in these stories, the women, just like you just saw the women become the enemy even when we're not doing anything wrong. That's all I wanted to say. Okay.
Mahogany, can I say something?
Sure, honey.
All right, listen. Let's not get the story. I heard the whole story. Now, I don't know if you missed this. He said that she was divorced for 14 years. I mean, Fantastic can verify that he said that.
Uh-huh.
And the husband have already been previous. I understand what you're saying. He didn't vet this woman. He probably didn't know. I mean, he was young, he said. So when you're young, you don't vet women. If every man vetted a woman, trust me, and a lot of women would have been crossed off the list, wouldn't be no kids right now. But they didn't vet them. They just took from face value. So now,
Would you call that cheating, though? If you were divorced from a man for 14 years, would you call that cheating?
Well, hold on, wait. You got wait. No. You guys are mixing up the thing. The 14 years that he's married to his wife, he didn't say she was just divorced from the man for 14 years. That wasn't the case. I don't know how long they had dealt with each other. The point of contention is like the timeline as far as like.
He said they was divorced. He said they was divorced.
But it wasn't 14 years. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They weren't divorced for 14 years. Listen to what you're saying. Hold up, just listen. That would literally be impossible. If she's 29, if she was 29 when he was dealing with her.
What did he say? I think he said they were married for 14 years and they were divorced for 3. I think.
Well, whatever it is, this is the whole thing. And Mahogany, let me get you to this point. Okay. This is the thing, Mahogany. So females have, like you said, the whole monkey branching thing and playing with someone's emotions. Of course, accountability is everything. A person should never choose violence, over emotion, especially a man. Okay. But yet and still, like you said, you can provoke a person to violence. And if and when, because she said she already had children. So if this man is overseas and he's this and he's that, and he comes home to find some dude in his house with his children. Again, I myself has been in that position as to where, of course, I ain't stabbed nobody. Goddamn, I ain't got no domestic violence charges for y'all niggas to get out here and say
He did say
Fantastic
that.
stabbing bitches. He's stabbing them. No, nigga.
He
That's
said
not the case.
that he
Hold on,
was a
Jason. Hold on,
second
Jason.
guy.
Jason, hold on, Jason, hold on. No, this is what I'm trying to say. I've been in a position as to where me and my baby mom, my kid's mom, and this is why I stopped dealing with her. That was it. I was not going back. It wasn't gonna be no separation and get back together. She had men around my kids. She had a fucking dude around my kids. And that was something that she fucking harped on me. Don't you be having these hoes? Don't you be having these bitches? Don't you be having nobody around the kids? And I'm like, of course, like that. You don't even got to tell me this. But who was the person to fucking break the rule? So again, we don't know the full context, and not even he knew, because like I said, he was surprised by the situation. And you can, when you're with a man's children are involved, again, not excusing it, not saying it's okay for you to you know what I'm saying, you to go the violent route. I'm telling you, this is what people don't understand about a man is more apt to violence. Okay, testosterone and just a man's mentality is more apt to violence than what women are. So that this woman, again, having this man in her home or whatever with this man's kids, who knows? Okay, I agree with you wholeheartedly that, again, the person that was a person to do the violent act and tell possibly attempted murder, at the very least, assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, he's at fault. But at the same time, like you said, this woman knew the deal. He didn't even know nothing about it. Like I said, he was pretty much ambushed. He didn't even know nothing about the dude still being involved in the picture.
Facts.
Yes.
Yeah, but let me tell you, this is a common issue with a lot of women that come with kids. I've personally never dealt with it because the baby father was locked up for 20 years, so I didn't have to deal with that. I was able to raise his daughter like it was my own, to the point where she called me daddy. I've never had these problems. I can't identify. But what I could tell you, I've known people that had these problems. And most time, women don't disclose that they got a baby father that still want them, even if it's not a husband.
Yeah, shout out real quick. He said, so that's what I'm saying. She knew the deal. He didn't know.
Bring him
Hold on,
into a situation. You have the right
Jason.
to let that man know what's going on, so he won't have to live there. Because most
Jason,
men,
real quick. That's what I'm saying. Jason, that's what I'm saying. He shout out to him. He's in the chat. He's saying she knew the deal. He didn't know. So that's what I'm saying. So that's the most.
I told you.
That's the most important part. And again, a woman know who she's dealing with, and this is why it's important too for you brothers to have a history of who people. We always talk about what you call it, her body count, her whatever the fuck. Nah, man, fuck the body count, bro. I need to know who the hell you've been dealing with. You dealing with a drug dealer? You dealing with a fucking robber? You dealing with a fucking scammer, a finesse? Who the hell are you? Who's in your past? Because I don't need having to deal with this nigga because he's super jealous or he's this and the other, and I'm not finna fight no nigga over you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be fighting for my life or fighting for my freedom because I had to put a nigga in the ground because he want to front me over you. Bro, I don't got time for that. So by all means, man, it's not really petty or extreme for you to do a little research and find out what type or who exactly the woman was dealing with you previously to you. Another big thing in red flag, man, real quick. Red flag again is the length of time that she left her last serious relationship, or especially when kids are involved. Bro, if the fucking the kid is less than 1 year old, the kid's not walking yet, and the dad's not there, abandon ship, my nigga. Don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. Again, she's setting you up to be that replacement. Again, the stepdaddy step in. Okay, for her poor decision making and picking someone that she let skeet in her. Don't do it, bro. Don't even listen. Don't even hit it. I'm telling you, dog. You can find a girl or a woman out here. You know what I'm saying? That's that's just as fine or finer without that whole situation, bro. That's so many red flags and so many things that have a possible just horrible situation, because I dealt with that shit too. So listen, bro, importantly, when you're young, man, I know when you're young, you think you can conquer the world, you think you can figure everything out, you think you know what I'm saying, you can solve every bitch with your dick. I feel you, brother, but it don't work that way. Okay. All right, it takes years upon years of experience, and what they say, trial and error, right? For you to fucking really figure this stuff out and be able to know what it is. But yeah, man. Listen, this was a great conversation. I appreciate everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Jason, RBR, Mahogany. Shout out to my man. Let's Talk too. You know, and ultimately, like I said, bro, the double standard of parenting in the Black community, bro, that's something we have to work on. And you know, for the most part, there is gonna be no kumbaya. There is gonna be no come together and everything gets fixed. Like I said, man, I'm going to let you guys know this from this point on. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. So again, you need to be mindful and careful. Okay, mindful and careful of what you're out here doing, man. Especially when you're talking about something as serious as creating children with a person, whether you be. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and and another thing, you got to start vetting these women properly. You got to stop being thirsty. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, women with kids are bad, but this is just an example of what can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women would have a history and won't say anything about it if you don't ask. You have to know a history. Don't say you don't want to know about the next nigga. We got a lot of that in our community. I don't want to know about that next nigga. No, you do want to know about that next nigga, because that next nigga might end up killing you or stabbing you like he did this brother. You know, because he might not be over.
Who does that though? Who dates and marries and moves in with a bride, and he doesn't even ask? It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. 14 years and it doesn't come up. Come on, brother.
RBR, you have to accept the fact that we have brothers and niggas in the community. Just like we got women, black women and bitches. Every black woman ain't a black woman.
But don't they speak English? Do they speak English? Can you talk to them? Can you ask them? I've never in my life met a woman that didn't tell me. I've never in my life met a woman who didn't tell me. Who didn't tell me what happened to her other relationship. Never. If you're dating a woman and you don't want to know who she is, that's on you.
No, that
ain't on her.
Listen, these women should.
Well, hey, y'all gonna have to say this argument for later, man. All right, so I gotta get out here.
RBR, you gotta understand there's a difference between a black man and a motherfucking
Jason.
Right.
It's over with, brother. Like you know what I'm saying? Close your curtains, shut it down, and hey, you gotta move around. So man, y'all have a great one, man. That's that on that one. I'll catch y'all on the next.